It's Operation Babble with Mike Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
John, it's time. It's time to
It's
explore
time. Explore
new worlds.
new worlds.
Have
new
sex
places,
with
new
green
realms.
ladies, and
I like green ladies.
there we go.
Green ladies are pretty.
All right, so what are we doing today? We are finally
don't
getting
know.
back to something that we said we were going to do a while ago.
Really? Oh,
A few podcasts ago, people, we did the Marvels 23 from a website called Thrillist.com.
Thrillist.com. Fuck those fucks.
And they gave us a list. A
the definitive list of the MCU, right?
Of the MCU of the 23 movies from phases 1 through 4, which can I also say too, phases 1 through 4 does include Spider-Man Far From Home.
From home. Yeah.
And the box sets that are coming out right now that you can buy only have 22 films in them that say phase 4. I was pissed.
Get wrecked.
They're stupid. All right, so I'm going to read real quick through theirs again. Their number, I'll read from 1 to whatever. So their number 1 was Black Panther, 2 Iron Man, 3 Guardians.
No, don't be that guy.
Yes.
You go from the bottom up, man. You
Oh,
go from the
fine.
bottom up with these lists, you go bottom up.
I always go bottom up. That's why I'm married.
You nasty.
All right, number 23.
You wouldn't
Iron Man
have
2.
two kids if you started from the bottom. Bow chicka bow wow.
Iron Man 2, number 23. Incredible Hulk, 22. Thor, Dark World, 21. Avengers, Age of Ultron, 20. Guardians of Volume 2, 19. Thor, 18. Captain Marvel, 17. Avengers, Infinity War, 16. Doctor Strange, 15. Cap, Civil War, 14. Spider-Man, Far From Home, 13. Ant-Man and the Wasp, 12. Avengers, Endgame, 11. Iron Man 3, 10. Captain America Winter Soldier 9, Spider-Man Homecoming 8, Ant-Man 7, Thor Ragnarok 6, Marvel's Avengers 5. Number 4 is Captain America First Avenger, Guardians of Galaxy Volume 1 is 3, Iron Man is 2, and Black Panther is 1. And that is a list. A list.
That is a list.
A list.
Wow.
So what we did is me and John both sat back around and put our own lists together, and
As I cried and cursed.
I put my list together kind of like what I like the most, but also with like story wise as well, like what stories were a little better, not necessarily the how the movie was made or anything like that.
Yeah.
I didn't go deep onto like, oh, this fight was choreographed a lot better than this fight in this movie.
Yeah. Or like the CGI sucked in this one. It's like,
Yeah.
no. It's
It's-
like CGI sucked in Black Panther like
Yeah.
a lot. So
Yeah.
my list, the way I did it was relevance. Like and a lot of times after the relevance of the story, if they were kind of competing with each other,
Okay.
that's when I started to get into more of the subjective stuff. It's like, well, okay, well, which one did I like more? Which one had more rewatchability? You know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of like, okay, well, this story's really good. One of my biggest arguments is, especially when you get to like your top 3, it's like, if you're fighting with like Avengers 1 or Infinity War or something, it's like, well, which one has more rewatchability?
Right.
It's hard. It's like, I don't know, but which one has a better story? It's like Avengers is more coherent without everything else.
Yeah. And
know what
which
I
one
mean?
which one are you more like you said, adapt to like watch more often too?
Yeah.
Like you can sit there and rewatch, like Ant-Man, just let that fucking movie. It's just, it's
You
whatever.
can play it in the background.
Yeah. But like Infinity War is kind of like Infinity War, we'll go Infinity War, not Endgame. It's kind of like, one, you have to have all the other shit first to understand
Yeah.
a lot of it.
But you can't help yourself. I refuse to believe anybody. It's one of those movies that if you turn it on, you're like, oh,
You're
cool,
gonna
that's
watch.
on. And then 5 minutes later, you're like in. Like
Yeah.
you're like you're like you're folding laundry while the movie's on, and you're like, oh, okay, that was fun. And then like 10 minutes in, before you realize, you're like, oh, I just watched the whole thing and I did
Yeah.
nothing. I just watched the entire fucking movie again. But yeah, that's kind of how I played it.
Okay.
Obviously, a lot of this is going to be subjective. At the end of the day, I would have to say Thrillist is fucking retarded. So regardless of what you think about ours, theirs is just blatantly wrong. It's just wrong.
So we're going from 23 on, right?
I figure 23 up. I figure let's just go off your list. I'll compare what I picked with what you picked.
Okay.
And that way we're not like doing 23 fucking movies twice.
Right.
Because I think I'm going to be the guy who's a little overly critical of stuff. So
Yeah.
if anybody's going to agree with anything, I think they'll agree with your list before mine. so we'll go from there. But, you know, hopefully there'll be healthy discussion and
Okay.
and maybe you'll watch me lose my mind.
All right, let's start then. And go.
Number 23.
Number 23 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just
The Marvel Michael list.
just the MCU. Nothing else. Nothing more.
else.
Um,
Fuck you and your comic books. Fuck you and your other shows. We're just talking about the movies.
Captain
Movies
Marvel is number 23 for me. Now,
Yeah,
if
boy!
if I went with you on like rewatchability, you can watch like have that playing on in the background, whatever. Because there are some decent points in it. Mostly whenever Talos is talking, that's the. But I
Yeah.
love the actor, so
That's what everybody says. Is like all the stuff with Ben Mendelsohn is
Yeah.
just on point. Which,
So
Could argue.
that's yours too.
yeah.
All right.
Number 23, Captain Marvel for 2 people.
Number 22 was Black Panther. I just
Same. Fucking same.
it was you know it was a movie. That's about
It was a fucking okay. So since we have the same ones, I want to qualify. The reason I put those so low is because they're so obviously just half worked. Like there was no real I mean, okay, that's unfair. People who work on stuff actually care, and I
Yeah.
feel like Ryan Coogler actually wanted to make something really cool.
Well, you can
But-
tell the direction in most movies, and even in Black Panther, you can see the direction of the director and the studio.
Yeah.
You do see that.
I
With
would
Captain
absolutely
Marvel, I don't really see that a whole lot. You don't really see a difference between the director and studio. But
Captain
with
Marvel
Black
felt
Panther,
like a full studio.
there are parts in there where you can be like, okay, like basically until Claw gets killed, that movie is great.
No, absolutely not. Are you kidding me? If anything, when Claw got killed, that was like the knife in the heart to finish the movie. It was like, oh, this is shit.
No, I really do think like the movie was better until they got to that part. Like once they got that part and once Killmonger got to Wakanda, it was just like, you know, it was eh.
Okay,
Then
so,
it really seemed like Lion King.
wow. Okay, so I gotta know. You don't think the movie was broken the minute they left the kid behind? I don't understand that. When they left Eric, left Killmonger.
At the beginning?
Yeah, why? And they left the
Yeah.
body. They left
Yeah.
the body.
Well,
he had a tattoo in his mouth.
The kid wasn't in the apartment, right? When it happened. Because they don't show
he
you
was
the
playing
whole
basketball.
thing
He was
right
playing
away.
basketball.
Because they break it up.
Yeah, he was playing basketball.
Yeah, he was outside playing basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They kill him, and not okay. So about 5 different things are wrong with that entire scene. One,
I would
had
have to. That would require me going back and rewatching that movie.
the movie is so
and-
fucking bad. These are glaring issues that I've never seen the movie again, except the like 3 times I watched it, like 2 weeks when it came out or whatever. I watched it once in the theater and about 2 or 3 times when it came out on DVD. That scene alone, when he kills Eric's dad, everything is fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to start with the beginning. The beginning exposition is absolute horseshit. So they kill the guy. So they not only introduce the fact that Wakanda has spies everywhere, implanted everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me in all of this time, not one of them has been caught.
Right.
Not one. We've already proven that Claw in Age of Ultron has gotten to Wakanda, gotten vibranium, and left.
left.
Actually
He
enough
a
to make
lot of vibranium.
like to significantly do some damage.
Because I mean, Ultron took all of it, and
Not all of it. He took most of it. He didn't
Yeah.
take all of it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He still did it.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of information. So we've proven that information can be found, extracted, dealt with. Cool. You're telling me all because we have the one guy in Oakland, so we got to at least have one in every country,
Right.
At least. So we'll
At
go
least
from
in
there.
every country.
That's all horseshit.
Not to
then.
mention how many are in the government and all that other crap.
Exactly. But they're peaceful. Fuck off.
Which also, kind of at the end of the movie when they're trying to send the weapons out and stuff, it's like just turn all your sleepers on and
Just turn them on.
Kill them all. Right now.
Tell them we all got a new king. Hey, start fucking people up. There you go.
Turn your little gangs and stuff because it seemed like they were recruiting gangs and shit like that. Which says all kinds of things about fucking Wakanda.
So then 2, they kill him, right? They leave the kid behind. Why? There's zero reason to do that.
Yeah. And you
There's
could say at first, until T'Challa actually talks to his dead daddy, like you could say, oh, well, they just didn't know. But then his dad says, oh, yeah, we fucking knew, basically.
We all knew. It's fucking horseshit. It's all horseshit. That's why they were there.
Yeah.
Because they knew he was having the affair with another person. Like, it was fucking dumb. So then they kill him, and they leave his fucking body there.
Yeah.
He's got the tattoo in his mouth. Like, nobody's going to ask questions about that? And then we have, like, the flashback or whatever, and the kid's got, like, the books and all the shit that the dad left behind, the maps and stuff. Nobody raided that apartment after the guy who died?
Yeah.
Because what the kid live in that apartment the rest of his life by himself? What the fuck? It's so stupid. It made no sense. None of it made any sense. So that's already bad. I'll break the movie right off of exposition. Why did they stop in Wakanda? They got all this vibranium and they fucking kill and take off. They absorb all the surrounding tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd they stop? Why'd they stop where they stopped? Makes no sense. The laws of just like building a kingdom and expansion prove that they would have just taken over all of Africa. It makes no sense.
What doesn't make sense is the technology that they have too. They should have been ruling the country, the whole world.
Exactly. I mean, if you could give me a better reason to why they decided to become these alienated country, like being awesome, like, okay, give me a better reason. I know it's better in the comics. I already know it is. Also, better in the comics, why there's a Black Panther, why only one person gets to be the Black Panther. Like, that's not this. Why are you not giving the purple juice, the purple drank to everyone?
Yeah, all your soldiers and shit like that.
Yeah, at least to the Kingsguard. Make them more useful. What the fuck? And also, why would you have the Black Panther be the same as the king? That's why I actually like Civil War. You had the king, who was the old dude.
Yeah, and then you had Black Panther.
And then you had Black Panther. Why would you ever send your king out to do all this espionage shit? Why? It makes no sense. It's all fucking dumb. And then it's like you have all this vibranium, and it's like what the fuck? And you made spears? Like, that was your move.
Spears and shields and
they literally have the audacity to have a fight scene where they're using guns. So primitive. You're using a fucking spear, you dipshit. Like, what are you talking about? At the end of the day, but it's a vibranium spear. It's still a fucking spear. If I tried to fight you with a fork, the fact that it's made out of vibranium changes absolutely dick all. Like, come on. It's fucking absurd. People are dumb. This movie is trash. And then at the end, because I don't even want to go through the whole movie because I could literally do it.
Let's not do that because we don't want to go through every single movie.
I could
frame by
legitimately
frame.
but it's important to prove that Thrillist is absolutely full of shit.
Yeah.
That this movie had no business even being part of the top 20. At the ending, the fight scene with them is fucking absurd. And then rhinos, war rhinos is dumb.
Which we don't get to see in fucking Infinity War again.
Which
Like,
is also dumb.
Those could have kind of helped, you know. I mean, as
for a
dumb as they
minute.
were, but they could have done something.
Yeah, you set it up. Let's just use them. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You fucked yourself. Let's just use them. Let's see. What a fucking what else? There's so much. Shuri's the only smart person in that whole fucking place.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? I get that they're super advanced, but they would have old people.
Yeah.
Like,
not only that is like everybody in the movie, anyways. It's like the smart one was the princess, the Black Panther's the king. That's it. Like the people who are the ones that should be being protected a lot more
are the ones putting themselves in danger.
Yeah, and not only that is if your king is the Black Panther, what the fuck does he need the king's guards for?
Thank you. Like, he has a vibranium fucking suit. Like, it can... Like, why would you just not wear the Black Panther suit all day and just put a cape on and be like, I'm king. There
Or
you go.
no, like they have it on all the time. Once they get to the movie, he gets like the fucking Iron Man kind of one where he can like
nano suit kill me.
touch
Fucking
his
nanosuit,
thing
oh.
and his nano suit comes out of
Yeah.
his necklace. Yeah.
And I want to fucking die with that whole shit too. But they're primitive and they have technology and their balls are dumb and fucking
All right, let's go to 21.
yeah, it's all bullshit. And Captain Marvel's much worse because there's not even a story. At
Yeah.
least Black Panther tried to have a story, and they also don't necessarily retcon anything. They're just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel retcons things, and that's what makes it worse. There, you're welcome.
All right.
Okay,
There you go.
next. So now number
21. This one we're probably not going to agree on just because it's a personal preference, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Captain America: First Avenger.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. I put Incredible Hulk, the Edward Norton one,
yeah.
which I guess is canon.
Yes.
I enjoy it, but the fact that it's not canon necessarily, you know what I mean?
It was
They just
actually
took a couple
made
of
by a whole
characters.
nother studio at the time too.
Yeah, but I just argue it's all different actors, and like they only kept like one character, and they only allude to it like once, pretty much just so we don't have
Twice.
to have the backstory again.
You get it in Civil War and you get him in Infinity War.
Pretty much anytime Everett Ross shows up, and
Yeah.
you get it in Iron Man 2 when they show the destruction of Hulk in New York City or whatever.
Right.
But I put it down there mostly because of the lack of relevance of it. But I also put it higher because at least it's actually a good movie by itself. I think it's a good movie. So I would much rather watch a coherent Hulk movie standalone, quote
Yeah.
unquote, versus those two movies.
Yeah.
Black Panther and Captain Marvel. So I'm curious why you put
Captain America, like the first Avenger, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched it several times. But it's and I mean they did give us Peggy Carter, so I mean
Yeah.
you gotta love that. But and their relationship in there was pretty cool too. But it just to me it is, since I watched it in theaters, even like I always felt it was really rushed.
Yeah, I can give you that.
So, I mean, I could say that about Thor too, but I like Thor more than the Captain America movie.
But I'm curious, when you say rushed, what about it? Is it the CGI that felt rushed?
Well, the
Was it
CGI,
story
yeah,
that was-
that's rushed. I mean, but I don't really care too much about like the CGI shit. It just felt like
Okay.
the story was being rushed in there, and like they do a lot of the
You mean
montage
for the,
bullshit too in
for
it.
the movie,
For the movie.
or for the MCU?
Oh,
When you say
for
rushed,
the MCU.
because you're just saying rushed, and
Yes.
and I'm not sure how to work with.
As far as the MCU is considered, it seems more of a rush product, kind of like Captain Marvel was really rushed out there, and it's just,
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, and yeah, and I want to preface with the audience on this one. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit more debatey. This isn't going to be
Yeah.
a normal podcast. We're not This is why you're kind of already seeing me kind of.
Well, we did this too with our top 5 comic book movies.
Yeah,
so
and with like
I get
Endgames
that.
and stuff.
Yeah.
I just know these movies pretty damn well.
Right.
Again, Captain Marvel's the one I know mostly just what other people have said about it. But trust me, I've spent I would honestly say at least 3 to 5 days worth of analyzing the show and blah blah blah. I haven't watched it. I'm going to watch it soon because I can finally get a fucking free copy of it. But yeah, I was not going to give any money to this movie. But with Captain America, yeah, I'd like you to keep going on Captain America because that one's actually, it's not like super high on my list, but it is up there. It almost made
Right.
top 10 for me. So I'm
Okay.
very curious.
No, I mean, it's hard to explain like the rushed factor, because I just remember, I guess it's since I saw it in theaters, I always just had that feeling that it was very rushed, like, and
'Cause
it's
I'm
just
like,
stuck with me since I've watched it in theaters.
Because I was like, does it feel cheap, or does it feel?
I mean, there's cheap moments in it, but it also it's hard too because it's dealing with Captain America, so you're dealing with the storyline of seeing where he came from, you know,
Like period piece stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of people don't like origin stories, I've learned.
See, I like period pieces though. It's doing a period piece and an origin story. It kind of gets like what Wonder Woman is. Wonder Woman's an okay movie, but I mean, there's still a lot that could have been dealt with better in that too.
But see,
I'm projecting, I know.
well, but also you're comparing it to another movie with another vague statement, so it's hard to say anything. Okay, so let me put it this way. Here, how about I tell you why I liked it?
All right, go on.
And then maybe you can kind of tell me, maybe like this is why maybe that was the part I felt was rushed or whatever.
Okay.
So one, obviously the CGI isn't super solid, and I can tell you that easily when it comes in, and like especially like when the tanks roll in and you see the Tesseract for the first time, you know, when Red Skull's introduced.
All the train stuff, the train CGI was horrible too.
That was pretty bad. But I make a lot of references to the fact that because it was a period piece and it was a little like a hyperbolic Superman or a superhero thing, it really felt like they were aiming for that like old school like Rocketeer, old Indiana Jones, like kind of grandiose period piece. And I thought they nailed that aesthetic. Like it felt kind of cheap, but I feel like it felt like they were homaging old movies like that, like movies that took place back then.
If that's what they were going for, then yeah, I can understand. But I'm not sure, you know.
Yeah, but see, that's headcanon for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it, because I love The Rocketeer. And when it had this like weird... So when it had this weird like old aesthetic, I'm like, whoa, we're back in Nazi times. It feels like an old Nazi movie I've seen when I was a kid. I love this. This is great. I love the Tesseract showing up, and then we move forward, and I mean Hugo Weaving as Red Skull is great. Peggy Carter, of course, is great. Tommy Lee Jones is also fantastic. But once you get away from all of the hyperbolic superhero shit, the fucking story is just great. And let's not even talk about the fact that I think a lot of the reason why some of the CGI might feel cheap with the atmosphere, it's because you put all the money in the face stuff. That's the first time we saw that. The
face stuff, and then when he first comes out, that's not actually Chris Evans' body either.
It's not? I thought it was.
No, not the main glance that they do.
When he comes out of the pause?
When the pod first opens, that's not his body. That's a body double's body.
Oh, that sucks. I'm not gonna lie, that actually kind of hurts.
Yeah.
That kind of hurts.
So they did really good with that though.
But
the younger face, the smaller body was
off,
like, but it was
but
something good for when it came out. Yeah,
I feel like that's Uncanny Valley shit, but it was still good, and it worked, and I understand why they felt the need to do that, because it really worked for the story, and it really shows.
And they've gone off to perfect it almost too. I mean, it still could use some tweaking here and there, but.
Yeah. But it was started. And, but I mean, I could point out really good scenes at work. It's a little fanboy of me to say it, but like, the scene in the movie theater when he's watching the film stuff for the war, and some guy's being an asshole, like start the movie, and he's like, no, show these people respect and blah, blah, blah. And then he ends up in the alley. Yeah. And he pulls the trash can off as a shield. That's fucking great. And then Sebastian Stan, that's his fucking introduction, dude. His buddy shows up. That's the first time we meet Bucky. What a great fucking intro to a character that we're going to spend a lot of time with.
And he gets a crappy outro with his friend.
This is also true, which I fuck Endgame. I'm going to be saying fuck Endgame a lot in this. But Bucky shows up and saves his friend.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Yeah. That was his introduction, the very first time you meet him. So that was really cool. I love all the Secret Service stuff, like the old lady. They even kill an old lady by gunfire because she's a badass and takes out a machine gun to shoot some Nazis. Or Hydra agents, I guess. But that's fucking dope. Like, they were willing to do it and, like, you know, like, carry an umbrella for a day, like, secret words. And it felt like espionage. It felt good. Like, it felt, like, legit. And Stanley Tucci... Love all their scenes. Him jumping on the grenade to prove his worth is one of the coolest scenes.
Yeah.
Him being having ingenuity by pulling the pin to get the flag to come down. I mean, it just shows everything about Captain America. His character, not he's a superhero.
Right,
He's
just
a
as
good
his-
person,
Yeah.
and he's smart and he's clever and he's so good. And then you got, Peggy Carter's great.
You're making me want to rewatch the movie now.
It's so
because I
good.
haven't
Go
seen
rewatch
forever.
it, dude. It's so good. I do have a problem with the fact that he has to drop the plane at the end.
Like,
to
why
blow
not
it.
jump out?
Just jump out or do something.
You're
But
freaking superhuman. Why not jump
they
out?
do. I think that's actually a deleted scene in Endgame where him and War Machine are talking about it. Like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Which I feel like don't ever do that in your movie because your fans will speculate enough.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you showing that you made problems does not make the problems go away.
Right.
Like, don't do that in a movie. But I'll just tell you, go back, let some of the aesthetics kind of wash over you. I mean, think about all the stuff. He had the goofy fucking suit,
Yeah.
but it was for a reason.
Yeah.
He had to wear it
Yeah,
for
they give
somebody
it
else.
to him because of the stupid stage show and all that crap too.
Which I would argue actually sets the foundation for later when he does the fucking stupid videos for the high school
Yeah.
in Spider-Man, because it's something he would do. He's like, well, okay, if it benefits people, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's fucking dumb and he hates it, he'll still do it. He even wears this trash ass costume from Avengers, which is really funny. But like, and I love his costume in it because they made it kind of useful. Like he wore the helmet and stuff, and then the Howler's Heroes, like he's got all those guys. They're great. The train shit is pretty stupid. It's pretty brutal to get through that. But it's so you can lose Bucky.
Yeah.
But then the bar scenes are great afterwards where he has to talk to Peggy. Those were fucking solid. It's just so good. It's a lot of great setup. It's a lot of character stuff.
Yeah.
Howard Stark's there. FYI, just a shout out. This means nothing and it doesn't make the movie better, but I enjoy it. Natalie fucking Dormer's in it, who plays Marjorie Tyrell from Game of Thrones, who's super fucking hot, and I love her like unconditionally. She's she's the blonde chick that kisses Cap. And
Okay.
Peggy catches
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So that's
And then
a fun
shoots
little,
at them.
yeah, it's a fun little fan movement. And I love that she shoots at the shield. I
Yeah.
love that. I think it works.
Yeah.
Like Peggy Carter is such a fucking solid character. Oh, that movie's great, dude. If you haven't seen it lately, go rewatch it. I think you put it low on your list because if you haven't watched it recently.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's good. I might I talked about it so good today. I might play that in the background while I edit a video today. I fucking love that movie. I love that movie.
All right.
Sorry, I did it again.
I'm probably gonna go watch it tonight now. So number 20, I put Incredible Hulk. So
Okay. Yeah.
with Ed Norton, I like
This
the
is-
movie. It's just it wasn't like you said. It takes you out of it if you go and watch it and then try and watch them. The only real thing that really connects it is the end credit scene when Tony Stark shows up
Yeah.
and was like, "I heard you got a prowler," or some bullshit like that to General dude.
And no, it's not Tony. It's Fury.
No, it's Tony. It is Tony. He walks into the bar
What?
at the end of Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's when when you really realize, oh, this is part of a thing now, you know. Because Iron Man came out a couple months before or weeks before, Incredible Hulk.
Oh, you might be right.
I know
Wow.
I'm right.
I know I'm right. He says. Number 20. Where did I end up? A Thor: The Dark World.
Okay.
That's where I went. Thor: The Dark World is such a forgettable movie. So that's just it just
is
kind of
right on
ends up
mine.
down there with me. I kind of feel like both those movies are kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I just used Thor because it actually is useful to the MCU.
Right.
So I'm all about it.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're right. I'm watching the scene. It absolutely was Tony.
See, told you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All
Okay.
right. So number, I don't really have much to say on that movie though.
Nah,
Number
neither one.
19, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Which, okay, I guess I gotta be mean. Thor: Dark World, it does come back in Endgame.
Yeah.
Which those scenes were really good.
Well, the guys that wrote Thor: The Dark World wrote Endgame.
Yeah. Which
So
I'm kind of starting to realize stuff. But they also did Infinity War. But anyway,
and they also did Captain America: Civil War and Winter
Thor-
Soldier.
Thor: The Dark World has really good elements, but it's boring as sin. It's fucking boring. Their villain sucks. Nobody cares about Natalie Portman, so thank
That
God
was
we
your
didn't make
number
her Hulk.
20, right?
That was my 20.
Okay.
And Incredible Hulk was your 20.
Yes.
So we're kind of banking on if we got fans even listening at all. If I were you, I'd just make a side-by-side while we go because this is going to get confusing as dicks. But we're trying to keep it from being like a 9-hour podcast.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
said number 19.
Number 19 was Ant-Man and the Wasp for me.
Okay.
It was a fun movie, but that's pretty much what it was just fun. They did a lot of the same shit they did in the first movie, of course. Staying with the same style. They didn't do a whole lot more different stuff than the first one. So it kind of felt like it was just recycled, same gags and everything.
It sounds really dumb, but I wish they could have had like the origin story fun stuff of the first one put in the package of the second one.
Okay.
The second one felt like an empty story, even though a lot of stuff happened.
There was no real like
I didn't
villain or anything though. There was no real like bad thing. It was just
Yeah. Even their villain ends up not even really being a villain.
Right.
So it's kind of like, oh, okay, this is lame. Nothing happened. And but the thing that sucks about it is all the action was better. Like it was better than the first one.
Well,
like
I mean, they had a lot more stuff too. In the first one, it was just Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And then in this one, you had Ant-Man and Wasp, and then you had Ghost as well, who brought a lot more action into it.
Which was a cool character too, by the way. I hope it's not the last time we see her. Even though, I mean, for me, probably is. But
well, I mean, if she didn't get snapped away, she didn't get any of that stuff from the place where Ant-Man was supposed to go get it to help keep her alive. So she might be gone.
No, I love the action scenes in that, like the stuff and the interactions, and the characters are good. The characters are fun. I mean, it's just they have nothing to do. It's lame, and they break a couple of their mechanics, which I kind of hate. Like they went for the cartooniness of it a little too much. When he shrinks down a building, I don't understand the mechanics of that. It's like
right, because well, the same thing goes with the first movie with the stupid tank. It's like the things are supposed to have the same amount of mass even when they're shrunken down, but he holds a tank on his keychain. Keychain.
That is also true.
So
I will give you that, but I was even talking more of just like the real elements of like, what about plumbing and piping and like
not only
you just
that,
rip
like
the
how are
building
there
from the
wheels on
foundation.
the back of your building and no one notices?
That's what I'm saying. It's all horseshit. Like they made it for a joke and they fucked it all up. The tank thing is something that I can go, okay, well, whatever. You fucked that up, but we'll go. The building just makes you ask like 50,000
well, see, when they set the
questions.
things up though in the movie, it's like you have the same mass, you're just smaller. So if you're super big too, when he's super big, he'd still have the same mass.
That is technically true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So when he's giant man, him going down on a guy like that's not really gonna be much of a
yeah, God forbid Ant-Man as a giant goes down on a man. You fucking homo. Or you anti-homo, I meant. Can you edit that, please? You're a homophobic misogynist.
But no, you're right. This movie did have cooler action stuff in it. I mean, Ant-Man had the one when he ran down the rifle?
Yeah,
which was
cool.
like footage that they had shot before, kind of like the whole Deadpool stuff.
Because I mean, think about Ant-Man and Wasp. They had the Pez dispenser thing was funny. That whole kitchen scene, the kitchen fight where she like runs off the knife.
Yeah.
And things that was super.
But
dope.
again, they're just like redone scenes from the first movie.
Yeah.
Like
So
the
it's
Pez
kind of-
dispenser is kind of like the fucking train that he blew up and stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
But they did it during a car chase and stuff, so like the mechanics were kind of fun. I don't know. It's
Oh,
like
but
their
they
action
did,
shit was just better.
but nope.
Well, they just did it a little
Just
better.
messing
I mean, it was just a little better.
No.
But
I mean,
yeah,
these are movies like the Ant-Man movies are not movies that are like serious
They're
tone
filler.
movies anyways.
They
They're
feel like
fillers,
filler.
and they need Ant-Man to do what they did in Endgame basically.
pretty much. It
And
was lame. It was.
I
pretty
wonder what
lame.
they're gonna do with him, because he's on standby. He said he'll do whatever they want. He's not like on contract.
It's fucking
So-
Paul Rudd, dude.
Yeah.
He will work. If they call him, he will work. He does.
And he's
not
gonna
care.
look young for the rest of his life. So
God, no kidding. I want to know
Fucking-
what fucking keto diet that dickhead's on. He looks fucking fantastic.
I
looks exactly the
guarantee
same
you-
way he does in Clueless.
right?
It's insane. He was in a Super Nintendo commercial in like 1992. He looks exactly the same.
And he was like-
yes, and it is on YouTube. Go look it up.
Wasn't he like in his 30s in Clueless as well?
Who even fucking knows? That dude's probably
he's-
250 years old and we just don't know it. Fucking Paul Rudd is a goddamn fucking Trevor. He's a treasure, and we should love him until the end of the days.
All right. All right.
So
all right.
Ant-Man and Wasp was your 19 then.
Yeah. What was your 19?
Mine was Iron Man 3.
Okay.
Which, now, given what you said and hearing me talk, I might be willing to switch. Because actually, Ant-Man and Wasp is my 18.
Okay.
So, it's funny. I think I could flip-flop those. Essentially, Iron Man 3 is... with Black Panther and Captain Marvel, they're introducing characters, and they fucked it up, so I don't care as much.
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man 3, I would have loved to put at the bottom because it does Tony a disservice and it does the MCU a disservice because Shane Black is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
and
They shouldn't have given the job to someone who didn't know the character.
they
very
should have
well.
just given it back to fucking Jon Favreau. I
Yeah.
don't understand why he didn't direct another
because
Iron
people
Man
complained about the second one, so of course they're gonna be
movie.
like,
Which
"Oh,
is
well, we need
again
to try
horseshit,
something."
and we'll get there. We'll fucking get there. But Jon Favreau should have absolutely done the third one.
Yeah.
Shane Black's a piece of shit, and if you don't believe me, go watch the new Predator movie he made. And if you like
I
that,
still
then you're
haven't
just a
watched it.
subhuman.
I'll get to it. I'll get
It's
to
a
it,
piece. It's a piece of shit.
and then we can talk about it.
Oh, I'd love to talk. I would love to do a full Predator franchise.
How about we just do a whole Shane Black ruins movies podcast?
We're fucking getting.
All right.
But Iron Man 3 is so low because they fuck with his character. It's so bad. And then they do
Yeah.
the stuff with Pepper and the and this starts that train, and when it even continues the train of Tony creating his own villains.
Yeah.
It's like, couldn't we have just had the Mandarin be number 3 and just
Well,
deal with that and go with it? It'd have been great.
Technically, the first villain wasn't really Tony's thing. He was kind of like already the bad guy. Like his villain created him in the first
That's
Iron
wrong.
Man movie.
You really think so? Obadiah Stane turned on Tony because Tony was going to take his money away. Obadiah was going to be his friend to the grave. He put up with his bullshit for how many years? He even says that. He's like, I'm so sick of your bullshit and blah, 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 essentially. And then it was when Tony started fucking with his money that Obadiah became a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a bad guy doing underhanded shit, yeah, but he was never a villain to Tony or never tried to undermine
He tried to have him killed.
Oh, yeah, you are right. Yeah.
At the beginning,
Well,
he
wait.
literally is the reason
wait,
why
wait,
Tony
wait.
becomes Iron Man.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yep. Nope, I'm an idiot. I will take that back. That was fucking dumb. Yeah, no, you're right. Obadiah was the reason he got set up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to take the fucking company from. Okay. Yep. Nope. I rescind that. That was fucking dumb. But 2 and 3 do start that trend, though, of like Tony's either family or him directly fucking people over. Which I guess I really got pissed off about Spider-Man Far From Home because of that. I'm like, do we really need this trend to go through one more time for a story that's not even his?
Right.
Which pissed me off, but we'll get there too. But I guess my whole deal is I really get kind of tired of walking into an Iron Man movie and Tony being a dickhead to people all the time. It's
I
like,
mean,
couldn't he have just fought the 10 rings? I would have liked that and just let his... And I guess maybe it's more because I don't like the villain. Maybe if he'd have made a better villain, I would have cared. But like the Extremist Project is fucking lame. People can just explode and reanimate, and then you give it to Pepper, and he never even saves her. She actually dies in the movie. He fails, and she ends up winning. That movie's an entire series of failures.
Mm-hmm.
Even the time he actually saves people, he's not even in the suit.
not only that is like he finally gets used to, like he gets over his obsession with having to have the suits, But then
Yeah.
in the next movie, we completely disregard
Yeah,
that.
we go right back to
We're
it.
like, oh, no, well, he's got 500 more suits right here.
It's fucking lame. As Shane Black is a fucking detriment.
Because what
to
came after
movies.
Iron Man 3? It was, like, he was in Age of Ultron, right? Yeah, so he had a suit.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
away. And then he was creating Ultron.
And he was making all the fucking robots for the rest
Yeah.
of the world.
Yeah. So it's
Oh,
like,
my-
oh, come on. You guys completely destroyed what storyline you were trying to actually... That was actually decent. Like, you know, he's addicted to this, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I put Iron Man 3 lower. It's because it could have really derailed everything about Tony.
Uh-huh.
It could have really derailed a lot of stuff in the MCU. Ant-Man and Wasp is just forgettable.
That
but
was
it's
your
at least-
18? Or your 19, I mean?
Iron Man 3 is my 19.
Okay.
So I put it lower than Ant-Man and the
Right.
Wasp. You put it one step higher, which I put it one step higher because I would say it's a nothing movie
Yeah.
that it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt the MCU.
Mhm.
So I'm willing to put it higher. Iron Man 3 actually almost derailed a lot of storylines.
Okay.
So I thought it was
It's
a
kinda
detriment to the stuff.
Well,
So bleh.
so I'll go with my 18 then was Iron Man 3.
Okay. Are you fucking serious? We just
Totally
flipped them
serious.
both?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For a lot of the same reasons too. Like it hurts Stark, and you know he's the fucking daddy of the franchise, and they always trash him. And even after he's dead, they trashed him in the Spider-Man movie. So it's like,
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong. I already know some people be like, "Oh, it was his character. He was self-destructive." It's like he's always been self-destructive. The self-destructive part was him having the suits and like
Yeah.
dealing with that, and he had that.
but I still disagree
line
with you
with
on the
Pepper
first
Potts.
one. The first one, his villain created him, and then
Oh no, you don't have
Yeah.
to. You don't have to disagree. I retracted because I'm a fucking retard. I can't believe I missed that. I didn't even think about that. It's a fucking opening movie. It's the opening part of the fucking
yeah,
movie. Granted, it's the reveal later that Obadiah was behind it.
right. Also,
But-
another thing
but
that
yeah.
they fucked up with, and I'm wondering what they're gonna do if we'll see it happen again in like more movies, as if Black Widow takes place before like the first Iron Man movie or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna
Maybe
call
she's
Shield
fighting the
Shield
Ten
or not,
Oh.
because
You mean like they did in fucking Captain Marvel?
exactly because they didn't really call it Shield until Iron Man. At least that's when they started saying they're
It was
calling
the
Shield.
end of Iron Man.
But then in Peggy Carter, they were calling it Shield. So I'm like, when the fuck why didn't Coulson just
shit.
call it Shield in the first place instead
in
of
the
trying
show? Yeah, the show. Yeah,
in the
yeah,
show?
yeah.
Yeah, because she creates Shield in the show. They call it Shield in the show.
Fuck.
So it's all over the place with that
Yeah.
one. All right, so number what
But
am I
that's a
on?
TV show, so
Yeah.
I'm going with the movies. Captain Marvel fucked that up first.
Well,
but at the end of the day-
Endgame linked that show directly to the franchise.
Did they?
Yeah, with Jarvis showing up in it and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I knew that. I knew he showed up. Yeah, I guess.
Yep. All right.
I could make the argument though that we don't without watching the TV show, we don't know what they were doing.
Right.
So
Okay.
No, but were they calling it Shield in Endgame when they went back there? When they went to that thing, or was it just an army place?
I don't know what they went to actually.
Because if it doesn't say Shield in the movie, then it's still tight.
I don't know. But
Because
even
then it
in
just means the
at the beginning of Ant-Man, they called it Shield when they did the little intro thing of like Hank Pym getting kicked out or something or leaving.
I don't know the time frame on that, so I can't give you that.
I don't know
but
the time frame on it, but it was before Iron Man because Hank Pym was young in that scene.
Okay, so we are nerding out very hard. People deal with it. But I would, but for the Peggy Carter one, I can give that one a pass because they fucked that up in the show. But if
Yeah.
they didn't call it Shield when they went back in time to see her at the base,
Yeah.
if that's not called
And
Shield,
I think
then
they've
that one
even
gets a
like
pass.
they even referenced it in Agents of Shield where it's like Shield's been this since forever.
And I
so
give
they
it-
get
and I gi-
back and forth all the time.
and I give that a pass because again, it's a TV show.
Honestly, what I chalk it up to is it when they're doing it in Iron Man, they weren't saying Shield because they kind of wanted to leave it as like a little hey Shield at the end of the movie type
Sure.
of thing. That's what I'll leave it at because
Sure,
I'm like
why not?
okay, yeah,
Why not?
you're holding out for the fans or whatever, whatever. So number 17,
We are on 17.
Thor: The Dark World.
Man, I'm surprised you put it high.
It, I think it's
higher than me.
Yeah, it serves for the relationship with Thor and Loki a little bit more with the loss of their mom. So I think
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it.
And I think the fact that they bring it up in Endgame could push it up a little bit more. And it's going to make you want to watch it again. It's really long and their villain blows.
Yeah.
So really, it's all the actual Thor family stuff that's any good.
And not only
the
that,
ending-
though, Thor has this issue, though, where it's like they destroyed the Bifrost in the first movie, and yet he comes down for Avengers, and then he comes down in Thor: The Dark World before Bifrost is replaced, I guess? I don't know.
It's so forgettable. The movie is extremely forgettable.
I wonder how they're going to do the new one, Thor: the Love and Thunder, whoever. Like, is Thor actually going to be in this movie, or is it just going to be Almighty Thor and be her movie?
Who even knows? Who even cares?
Ugh.
Who cares? Like a big fucking who cares?
They shouldn't have
Disney's
taken the
fucking shit
ether
up
out of
so
her. They
hard.
should just inject her with the ether again and kill her.
Disney's fucking shit up so hard. It's insane.
That
So
series
17
sucked. Anyway, 17 was
So-
Thor: The Dark World.
Would you like to know my 17?
Sure.
John's 17 is Ant-Man, the very first Ant-Man.
Okay.
I only put it low, honestly, just because I don't even know we needed a backstory for him.
Yeah.
He's such a nothing character to the rest of the stuff. And all I can hear is people going, but he does really important things. It's like, yeah, like what?
Yeah, he doesn't really do anything. You basically just get introduced to him, and
He's Paul Rudd. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the only reason why people like him is because he's Paul Rudd.
I mean, you get the funniness from the one dude, and that's about it. That movie was literally there just to introduce those characters, because everything that happened in that movie had no repercussions to the universe whatsoever.
He fights Falcon, which is funny, which sets him up for being able to be called for Civil War.
Civil War.
That's all.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Um,
Like Hank
People-
Pym's lab being destroyed, never
Doesn't
talked
matter.
about again.
doesn't even matter. People are like, whoa, but he brought the Pym particles. Doesn't matter. Hank Pym made those. He
Yeah.
can find them. And again, those were all just. He could have just been set up and introduced. It would have been fine. You could have literally introduced him in Civil War, and I don't think anybody would have given a shit. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Paul Rudd, and you put the thing on, and he grows big and grows small, and they're like, oh, it's fucking Ant-Man. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
but
well,
it's a good
no,
movie.
no, I
Don't get me
mean-
wrong. I'm not trying to shit on it, but it's a good movie. I liked
Basically,
it.
the whole movie just showed the I don't even want to say science behind it, but like the
Yeah.
technology
Yeah,
behind
the
it.
mechanics. It just shows
Yeah.
you the
And then it
the
also
real
did
world.
introduce like the quantum realm and stuff when he shrunk down at the end
Yeah,
of the movie and
which,
stuff. And
which were things that were relatively important to later down the road.
Yeah.
Which I could argue, I mean, you could have brought that stuff up with any of the other science nerds in a different movie if you really
Yeah.
wanted to. But Ant-Man's good. It's essentially just Iron Man, just more comedic. That's all it is. That's why I just put it low. Not because it's a bad movie, just because there's better movies. That's it. That's all.
okay,
So there
that
you
was
go.
number 17 for you?
17 for me, yes.
So I'm on 16. Ant-Man.
Dude, we are so close. It's insane. This is actually kind of funny.
All right, so we're not even going to talk about that again.
Yeah, so your 16 is Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. So you're 16.
Is Guardians Volume 2. Okay, you freaked out. Why?
Go on. Just go. All right.
No, why'd you freak out?
Because I'm just going to say my 15 is Guardians Volume 2.
Shut the hell up, really? Okay, well then fuck it. What's
Let's-
your 15 then?
My what?
What's your 15?
Guardians Volume 2 is 15. That's your 16.
That's my 16. So what's your 16 then?
Ant-Man.
Oh my god, this is so weird. Okay, so Guardians 2, the reason why I put it so low is because I didn't really like Ego. I don't like the villain.
The villain wasn't really that big of a deal, and it was another one that really rushed into it. Like as soon as they leave the Golden people, they're basically with Ego the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
They're there, and then it goes by really fast, and you get adapted. You know what's happening before they even reveal it. You understand it already.
And the whole thing about Guardians that made it so good was the chemistry
Yeah.
of all of the actors. And you split them up.
Yeah.
It's lame.
the only like cool parts in the movie that I really like dug into, because I could live without all of the ego bullshit. But anything with Yondu and Rocket,
Yes.
that was my jam right there.
Or Yondu and fucking Peter. Like,
Yeah.
their backstory is so good. I cried my fucking ass off at the end.
I'm friggin' Mary Poppins, y'all.
But like when they jettison him, it's like, you know, he may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy or something like that. It's all good shit, man.
Which
Like,
I mean, oh, they're so good. Especially like every Marvel movies have this thing to deal with people like that have parent issues.
yeah, right. But I'd argue that's a superhero.
It's a superhero trope.
genre.
I mean, fucking even Superman, his parents abandoned him.
But I mean, you're also talking. The whole point is you need to ground these characters
Yeah.
with a relatable issue, and I mean that's one of the best go-tos is family.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
But yeah,
lack of or whatever.
it just seemed really rushed. I mean, the intro was kind of fun, where they're fighting.
Oh,
the
I love
stupid
the
monster,
intro. I thought it was.
and,
I thought it was really cute.
and they disregard the whole like actual fight and you just see Groot dancing. And shit.
Yeah, I thought that was super cute.
I do hope in the. I'm sorry, dude.
no.
But I do hope in the third Guardians we actually get to see Groot big again, because
we get
he's
fucking
so
James
much
Gunn
more
back. Thank you,
powerful.
God.
He's so much more powerful than what they've showed, because in the first one you get to see somewhat of it, but then ever since then he's been like little.
You think they're gonna keep him a teen, or do you think they're gonna age him like another couple of years?
I mean, Guardians is not coming out for a while, so they better age him.
I mean, I hope
Because
well,
they're even doing the
real
Thor
lifetime.
Love and Thunder before this movie.
Real
before
lifetime
Guardians.
doesn't equivalent to movie time, but also Love and Thunder is gonna.
Because I mean, last time when we saw him in Guardians 1, he was the little seedling.
Why would you put Love and Thunder before Guardians 3? That's fucking dumb.
Because he's not gonna be in it.
But he's in Guardians 3.
Thor's not.
Guardians 3?
Yeah.
Thor's on the ship with them.
Yeah, and well, guess what? He's not gonna be.
That's fucking dumb. It's absurd. No,
That
way.
was
It's
something
wrong.
that the Russos did at the end of their movie, just to
You're
be
wrong.
like
You're
they can
crazy.
do what
No
they
way.
want to do. Yeah.
No, absolute way. My biggest problems with this is subjective. I'm sorry, but the soundtrack is not as solid as the first one.
No.
It felt like they wanted to keep the trope, but they didn't care as much.
And because they pulled out the second tape for this one, right?
Yeah.
And then at the end, he gets like the iPod thing, which I'm guessing is what they had in like Endgame and Infinity War.
Which again, I'm gonna go with fuck Endgame, because that would have been such a great moment for Tony to have to go play with the tape deck because he was getting sick of silence.
Yeah.
And like make fun of the fact that it's a cassette tape. He's like, I haven't seen one of these in 1,000 years or whatever, and he pops it in and he listens to a song, and then they pick a song. It would have been great. It would have been fucking great. But nope, fucking Endgame's a piece of shit. Guardians 2 is not a bad movie. It's just not even fucking close to the first one.
So that was
It's just
your
not.
that was your 16 and my 15 then, right?
That was my 16.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So what's
I
your
don't really want to
15?
talk more on it because it's kind of a meh movie.
What's your
for me.
15 then?
My 15 is Endgame.
Okay. That's
I
close.
legitimately put it really low.
Okay.
I would argue more about why I put Endgame so low.
But we have a 2-hour podcast or a 3-hour
But we have a
podcast
fucking
on that.
3-hour podcast on it saying I fucking hate it. I think it was a disservice to I think the studio got into it, touched it too much, and we got nothing. We got no payoffs from Infinity War, or honestly from any of the setup. So Endgame's a piece of shit. I would have put it lower, but I think they do fan service pretty well for the most part. For the Luddites, grabbing Mjolnir, fight of it. I mean, Tony didn't need to die, but he did, and it's fine. It's whatever. It was a cool moment. His death scene could have been better. That's whatever. The whammon scene is lame, but people were happy about it. The big
Were
fight
they
at the
though?
end.
Were they? I heard so much shit from that.
I don't know. People are stupid. The end fight is grandiose and lame. Might as well be a prequel fight. Kind of reminds me of Aquaman's fight at the end.
Where you don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, but people liked it. They thought it was cool. I don't know. A lot of cool memes.
Yeah.
The movie's a fucking meme, really, at this point. America's ass, fun stuff, cool referential shit once or twice.
It'll be talked about for a while, then it'll be forgotten when something better comes out.
Yeah, but I'm good.
Like
I'm
for
good
Marvel.
but I'm good at leaving it at 15 because it doesn't deserve to be any higher. But
Okay.
but it is more. I'll at least put it on a technical level where it's just better and more impressive than all of those other movies before
Yeah.
it. So there you go.
So then
15
we're on
is my end game.
15 is your end game. So I'm on 14.
What's your 15? Your 15.
My 15 was Guardians 2.
Guardians 2, and so then 14.
So 14 was Endgame. Yeah.
I'm
And-
fucking laughing. This is amazing.
And then so we already talked about that. So what was your 14?
My 14 was Doctor Strange.
Okay. It's close, so it's not my it's not 13 for me.
Okay,
but
good. So what's your 14 then?
That was 14 was Endgame for me.
Okay, 14 was Endgame, so I'm Doctor Strange at 14.
So
The reason why I put that lower,
Mhm.
it's good. I like Benedict Cumberbatch. That's brilliant casting. I like a lot of I love the characters. I love every character in this
Yeah.
thing. Their villains are pretty weak, but whatever. Welcome to Marvel. But
that
like,
villain was so weak though. Like, I mean,
Till
the
the-
main Dormammu. The
Yeah.
fuck?
what the fuck? He doesn't even look like him. Like he's not
No.
even the skull with the fire. It's lame. But like they did some really cool element stuff, and like the just the introduction stuff was safe. They played it pretty safe, and everything looked pretty good. There's just a lot of fucking dumb hokey shit in it. Like the ghost fight in the hospital is fucking lame. I thought it was cool the first time I saw it, but then you go back, you're like, this is fucking dumb. It just looks really stupid. Tilda Swinton is incredible as the Eternal or whatever
Yeah.
you call her.
Which was
I love-
another character that was supposed to be a Asian man. That's what he was supposed the great one. Or
I liked
the
her
ancient
though.
one.
I
But
thought
she
Tilda
did
Swinton
good.
was cool.
I thought the switch on that character was a pretty good one
Yeah,
to take
well,
in.
and they play her androgynous. Like she
Yeah.
feels very androgynous,
Yeah.
which is kind of what I would want from like an all-seeing being. Like I don't want I don't want to look at somebody and go a gender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
not overly pretty. She's not overly masculine. She's not overly effeminate. She's just a badass.
Mm-hmm.
She's a monk. She felt like a monk,
Right.
and that's what I wanted. And
Right.
it felt good. So I don't know about the comics or whatever with her, but her aesthetic worked for what they were trying to portray her as in this
Mm-hmm.
movie. So I'm good with it. I'm sorry, comic book people, but I was good with it. And Tilda Swinton's a phenomenal actress. So sorry, suck it.
I like the movie.
I think it's
But
good.
we'll
I
talk
think it's
about when
great.
we get to
Yeah.
my number on it.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I love the reverse fight. I think I've talked about it before. I love the reverse fight at the end.
Okay.
Granted, yes, it's a big CGI battle with stuff running around, but the fact that they're going backwards and they have to pay attention to mechanics of everything going in reverse, it just felt kind of neat. I don't know if I've seen it before. I've seen it probably kind of done in a way, but like this felt new and it felt exciting and it was good. I
Yeah.
say good just because I liked it. The him coming to bargain thing was funny. It was kind of neat. It kind of felt like a good way to get this all grandiose character villain to kind of just give up rather than actually beat him,
Right.
which was kind of cool.
And can I say
Um,
too, for people out there who are going off of Endgame's time travel rules, that are trying to say every time Doctor Strange went back with Dormammu, it makes an alternate universe. No, it fucking doesn't. The time stone works differently
The time
than the
stone is
quantum time travel.
Yes, yep. I fucking hate time travel, but goddamn it, at least pay attention to what they're telling you. The
Yes.
time stone is not the quantum realm. End of discussion. Deal with it.
Hence
They
why
even try to
when people
explain it.
when people
and they
tried
do
to
it poorly.
say, like, when fucking Thanos turned back time to take the stone out of Vision's head, that's an alternate timeline. No, it's not. He was using the gauntlet that literally changes time.
Yep.
All right.
I agree.
So
So Doctor Strange was my 14. There you
Number
go.
14. Okay, and my 14 was Endgame. And then number 13, I got Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Wow. Okay.
It was a good
Why
movie,
so low? Why so low?
but I just didn't
And,
get.
and I'm only giving you shit because a lot of people all believe it. A lot of people really hate Age of Ultron.
I don't
which
hate it.
Deservedly. Well, I know I'm not hating it, but like
Because it gives
they don't
us.
consider it really good.
It gives me what I wanted from like Scarlet Witch. You get to see Scarlet Witch go crazy at the end of it, kind of like in Endgame where she's like.
well, and they
tears
introduce
apart.
her. Which
Yeah, and
is
they
kinda
introduce
cool.
her. They gave us another version of Quicksilver, which I don't know whose Quicksilver I like more. Like, I think the guy from X-Men, I like his Quicksilver better.
His thing is cool.
I think he's
But-
because he's younger. I think maybe
but-
that's what it is. He's
Wow,
playing
that's
a
a-
younger version of him.
That was really out of all the things you would pick, that was it.
And I
that's
like
funny.
that actor more, I guess.
I don't know. I like them both, man. I don't want to pick a favorite. They're
They
so
did cooler
completely
stuff.
different.
They did cooler
They're
stuff.
so completely different, though. I love the one from Age of Ultron because he feels like an actual fucking character.
Yeah.
which is cool.
And he's very cocky too.
Yeah, and I like the cockiness, and I like the fact that he's actually Russian is cool,
Mm-hmm.
even if his accent's a little shit, but it's still good. The guy from X-Men though, he's got a cooler power, and they kind of smarmy him up a bit. He's neat. They're completely different. So
And
I
you can
gotta-
tell they're completely different because as a building was blowing up
yeah,
in X-Men, Quicksilver was able to get everybody out of there.
he's got like micro speed, and the other,
and then the
but
other guy's
guy-
like Flash maybe without the flash time.
But see, but that makes him more compelling to me. Like he doesn't feel like he's a god.
Yeah.
Like he even gets tired. Like he grabs a bunch of when he saved them all from that train that was coming through the city, and he like grabbed people
Yeah.
individually, and he's like, you get a scene where he hits the wall and he goes, oh shit, okay, and then he goes.
Yeah.
I like that. It was like. That's a big problem with a lot of people with power. You don't know their power levels, and it's lame. There's no stakes if you don't know what they're capable of or what their limits are.
Right.
And the fact that he ends up getting shot at the end makes sense to me. It's just like, yeah, because he's tired and he's beat up, and he made a choice, and then that's his choice. He's done. It sucks that he had to die, but it's Joss Whedon. Somebody had to go.
Right.
Like, so,
He probably wanted to kill Hawkeye too, and they were like, no, we need him. For something, we're gonna use him. Just get rid of one of the empowered people.
what other things did you not like about Age of Ultron?
I didn't see. There's so much I did like too, so it's kind of.
But I want to
back
go with
and forth.
didn't because
So-
I really like Age of Ultron, so I can get with you on those.
I feel
So I'm
like again, a lot of it, like some of the other movies, a lot of this movie was made to set up other movies.
yeah, I'd agree.
Like
Absolutely.
the vibranium thing was setting up like Black Panther coming in.
yeah,
They
thank
did
God Claw fucking
the Claw. They did a lot of those the when Scarlet Witch goes all crazy head on them and shit, and they do like their little each get their own.
which we
fucking-
never see again, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I mean, everything that dude said to Thor happened. Thor was the reckoning of
No, I'm
Asgard.
talking about her power.
Oh,
not the-
yeah,
not
yeah.
the comeuppance.
Okay. But no, like those things, it's like you're just setting up other movies. This movie is basically a movie to set up movies that has like a little tiny bit of movie actually in it. So it's kind of like,
I don't know. A lot was going on.
there was a lot
was
going on, but a lot of it is just setting up other shit.
But I mean, isn't that the point though? I don't know. If it does all of that and it does it well and gives you entertainment.
I mean, compared
moments,
to the first Avenger movie that we got before this one, the first Avenger movie did more with what they were dealing with rather than setting up more shit.
I think that's an opinion throw, but I'm fine with it. I would say Avengers that was supposed to be like unless that movie didn't do very well, that was probably going to be an Endgame.
It's just a one-timer.
Because, I mean, you'd make the argument, it's like, whoa, they showed Thanos at the end. It's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, they were going to keep going. But this movie, if you cut that cutscene out, this movie would have been fine.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? It would have worked. You would have watched the shawarma thing, and then we would have been done. We would have been 11 movies in or whatever, and it'd have been fine.
That was only like
Shut up. I don't know the number. I'm just saying.
5 movies. That would have been number 6.
No way. What?
2 Iron Mans, Thor,
Thor.
Captain America, and Hulk. So that's 5, and then Avengers was 6.
So 6. Okay. Well, okay, fine. Sorry. 6. God, fuck. Fuck me. Fuck me running.
Well, you tried to double it up. Come on.
Well, fine. Sorry.
No, there was some stuff like too with the characters. Like, again, Ultron has a lot of cool stuff in it. I don't think that the Ultron we got was a good enough Ultron.
Fucking absolutely agree. I absolutely
'Cause
fucking.
I
don't
was
get
a
me
fan
wrong.
of Ultron in the comics and the cartoons, and I know we're not like fuck.
We're not
fuck
supposed to
that,
do that.
but it's like.
But this is an egregious dismantling
Yeah.
of the character. And it's like, oh, but he doesn't have a character. He's a robot. Exactly, you dipshit. That's the point. He's supposed to be this menacing character. Like, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be this thing, this all-powerful being who does not give a fuck. All he has is an initiative.
Now, why the fuck didn't we get? If we were gonna do what we did in Endgame, why the hell didn't Thanos go and find like fucking Ultron and bring him in to help fight and all that? That would have been.
Oh, please, fuck off. Why? If Captain Marvel was introduced back in the 80s and 90s and she's fucking around with Ronan, who Ronan is one of the dickheads who's out to go get one of the stones, why didn't Ronan say anything to fucking Thanos about Captain Marvel, and why weren't they going after Captain Marvel to kill a god?
The whole time.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, maybe that's what Captain Marvel 2 will be about.
Captain Marvel's a piece of shit. I'm glad it's number 23.
I feel and so before we go again, because you brought up Captain Marvel again, there's a scene in there after she attacks Ronan's ships, and then Ronan's like, "We'll come back for later for the weapon," and then he's talking about Captain Marvel. I'm like, "Motherfucker, you never come back. You die.
Nope.
You,
Yep,
when
you're dead,
are you
bitch.
coming back?"
Good
So
job, buddy. Did you get stuck on the freeway, you prick? I'm gonna keep talking on Age of Ultron because I put it much higher, and when we get to the number, then I'll feel like we don't have to talk about it as much.
Okay.
Since we're on it, I just
Yeah,
want to.
and mine was 13 for Age of Ultron.
Okay. Because mine is completely different.
Well,
But I want to talk Age of Ultron mostly because it's again one of those movies where I feel like everybody underappreciates it because the villain sucks dicks. It's just that simple. James Spader would have been great, but him quipping and making jokes and doing shit is lame. It's
Right.
fucking lame, and it just didn't work. And
it's like they take these good villains from Marvel and make them like
jokes.
villains.
They want to make them jokes. And
like Thanos in Infinity War was probably one of the better times that they did something besides Loki.
Which sucks because it's like you watch the trailer, the Ultron that they put in the trailer, who's like creepy and menacing, is not the Ultron we got in the show.
Right. The
Which
one
is
that
fucking
when he's
horseshit.
walking around saying fucking Pinocchio quotes.
Yeah, like there are no strings on me, like fucking. I'm
Fucking
gonna show you
advertisements for Pinocchio.
But I love it though. It's like I'm gonna show you something beautiful, and it's like, oh my god, like do some cool shit.
Right.
And
Like, why wasn't Heath Ledger around to voice him?
shut up, you're dumb. Dude, I miss you though. I mean, think about it though. The fucking bar scene or the after party scene is something that everybody looks at.
Yeah.
Everybody. The Hulk Iron Man, the Hulk Veronica fight.
Oh yeah, yep.
It's a little grandiose. I get it. It's a little dumb, but I mean, they set it up. And can we talk about something that they never do again? Which I want to just, I would give a reach around to Joss Whedon for, assuming it was his idea. When Scarlet Witch gets her fucking powers and they do that creepy fucking scary like horror movie thing where they like do choppy edits where she moves around and fucks with people.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I want that more. Give me more of that. She's supposed to be creepy, and I want her to be creepy. And because she's all powerful and she fucks with people, and I like it.
I wish they'd just give her fucking accent back.
Oh, fucking. Let's not even talk about that because they got a problem with that with the whole Black Widow shit, too. she gets away with it because she's supposed to blend in and be covert or whatever, but she's Russian. Fuck you.
But Scarlet Witch started with an accent. She doesn't have one anymore.
It's just lame. It's all lame. And I already know you fucking nerds will be like, whoa, she's lived in America and done. Gavin fucking Free has been from Britain, my bitches. He's been hanging out in a fucking he's been living in Austin, Texas, the most fucking shitty southern draw state of the entire country, and he hasn't lost his British accent. Go to hell. You're so dumb. Like, just stop being stupid.
That's not how accents work, especially as you're an adult.
Thank you.
Arnold still has a fucking accent. He's been living here for how long?
Seriously, dude, it's absurd how fucking stupid people are these days. It's insane. But Age of Ultron, I think, is a lot better because it sets up a lot of stuff, and it really, really leads in. It's the whole point of Civil War.
Yeah.
It's like the whole point, which, again, a little bit of bias because Civil War is considered, in my brain, probably one of the top 2, if not the top movie in MCU. Could change by the day or my feelings or whatever, but it is a fucking solid film. This movie sets all that shit up. It's just really well done and gives Hawkeye some backstory to make us care about him a little bit more, especially because they underutilize him in pretty much every movie. Mm-hmm. It was nice to see him get some fucking fan service, and again, costumes are cool, fights are great. Weakest part of this is their fucking villain again. Age of Ultron is lame. Ultron is fucking lame. We get Vision. That shit is good. Would have liked a little bit more Thor. That would have been great. But again, at the end of the day, I think you make Ultron a better villain, that movie would go much higher.
Right.
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So now we're on number 12.
13. 13?
12.
No, 13 was my... Because then I have to say what my 13 was.
Oh, yeah. Go say what your 13 is.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that right now.
I put
that's
real
too low.
I put that real low. I would like to know why you think it's too low.
I don't know, probably because it's fresh in my head.
The glasses?
That's all.
I thought the glasses were cool, though.
The glasses
Weren't the
are
glasses
so cool,
neat?
dude.
Shouldn't we give those to the right person? But who is the right person?
I mean... There's a lot of
War
shit
Machine
wrong
doesn't
with
exist
it.
anymore, right? Like, and
you yourself said War Machine is military, so why would they go to a military man? You yourself said that.
No, I said give it to them. Why would you not give him the glasses? And
Why?
you told me he wasn't military because he quit. And I go, no, that's not true.
But we don't know. 5 years have passed.
You're insane. I know why you thought that, but it's not true. Far From Home is low mostly because I don't like them fucking up Civil War. That really pissed me off. And 2, because it's an after phase movie, we don't know the repercussions of it. And also, it's not that great. I'm saying not that great.
And we're not going to hear nothing about it either. Like anything that happened in the movie, we're never going to hear anything about it in anything else.
Yeah, I could qualify Far From Home more, but again, we do have a podcast on it. So if you want to know my thoughts a little more, feel free. But at the end of the day, I think Far From Home was a decent story. It was super fun. I enjoyed it. As a viewer, I was out immediately when they made Tony Stark a dickhead again. But for the fact of the movie, it was okay. A lot of convenient shit happens. A lot of bullshit happens. But it was fun. Fun does not make you a good movie. Therefore, it sits very low for me. And especially because Homecoming was so solid compared to this one, I have to put it higher. So this one is sitting at 13 for me. Spider-Man Far From Home is number 13 for me.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So number 12 for me is Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Just because I love Doctor Strange in the comics and stuff, that I think that they did an actually decent job of portraying him in the movie. The movie itself, you get some cool stuff. It was different when it came out too, compared to any of the other MCU movies.
I give you that, yeah.
You never got any of the wizard shit and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool to see them go with a different route with shit. Dormammu was still a stupid thing.
That was a big waste. That was a big waste.
Yeah.
I wish he would have looked like his character.
Yeah.
A big menacing burning skull.
Or come up with something a little better.
Or maybe better. I don't know. Whatever
if
they
you
did
can't
sucked.
do
It sucked.
if you can't do it like how it should look, you come up with a better character then.
Yeah, that
There's
sucked.
so many
Yeah.
fucking villains, and
That
you could have
design was
fleshed them out.
That was the design was terrible.
I do feel like you don't understand. The movie does lean towards like you not really understanding how much time has gone by since Doctor Strange has started to learn his powers and not. Because the movie
guess,
kind
yeah.
of makes it seem like he's almost like right into his powers.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem, but I don't know if it necessarily matters.
Right.
Just
And then
because
Endgame
it's-
fucks with you again because Tilda Swinton says, 5 years from now, which is just when his movie comes out. So then he hasn't even been knowing his powers for more than like 2 years till he's
and then they
helping with
introduce-
Endgame.
And then you bring the portals, and it's like they have like 5,020 wizards.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was jarring. It was bad. Endgame sucks.
So
Endgame's a piece of shit.
that was my number 12 though.
I would agree.
I like Cumberbatch, so
Oh, dude, who doesn't? Like, he's fucking awesome. Like, come on. Nope. I completely agree. So, your 12 was
Doctor Strange.
my 12. Would you like to know, Michael? Would you
No.
like to know? Oh. My 12 is Thor Ragnarok.
Wow.
I put it pretty low. Again, I don't think it's a bad movie. I think there are much better movies, obviously, in the MCU. My deal with it is I don't like the tone. I really hated the tone of the film. I enjoyed the jokes. They were fun. The CGI is fucking horrendous to look at, even in this day and age. It's terrible. The scene
It's
when
very
he gets
glossy.
Well, it's fake. It looks fake. It looks like they shot. Kind of reminded me of The Hobbit when they shot up to 48 frames per second and everything just looked too fake. Like the background looked wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly how this entire movie felt. Even from the introduction when he's like swinging around in front of the orange shit, it just looks like shit. It looks really bad. This movie looks really bad and it will not hold up in like 3 years. That being said, I want to get more into the story and again, tone.
Okay.
Thor is 100% a completely different character in this movie.
Yes.
Which is fine. Which I'm fine. For the better.
Which you could say too. It's kind of like he's just so broken down from losing everything already.
But he hadn't lost everything yet.
By the time he gets sucked into the portal, he loses his hammer and his dad.
And Thor Ragnarok?
Yes, before he goes into the trash planet, he's already lost his dad and his hammer.
No, but I'm talking he's making quips and shit at the beginning of the movie. The literal beginning of the movie is him in chains going, "Oh, Thor's trapped in a cage."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, they set the tone early and he's a completely different character. It's insane. But
I
I'm
always
okay with
forget
it.
that intro.
But I'm okay with it. Yeah, because it's shitty. But I don't like how some of the most dramatic, life-altering things happen to him in this movie, and the movie doesn't give a fuck about it. Odin dies and just pulls up, "Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good," and just fucking blips out. It's like, deuces. And then you got the fucking hammer being destroyed. His eye gets fucking cut out. He finds out he has a long lost sister. Like, come on, dude. And he kills all of his best friends. He kills half the guard. And then his fucking planet's destroyed. It's all jokes the entire fucking way through. It's insane. I hate it. I fucking hate it all. But then you get the characters and it's fun. The show is fun. Don't get me wrong. That's why it's at 12. It's good to watch. I'll watch it 2, 3, 4 times. Have a fucking rip-roaring good time.
Right.
But for character development and storyline, it's fucking tonally deaf and horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The fact that some people have equivalated the idea or like defended it with the idea like we wanted to go super happy because Infinity War ends up being like really kind of dismal.
Right.
I go, well, 1, you don't know that. That's hindsight. 2, it's really only dismal for like the beginning and the end. Other than that, it's pretty happy-go-lucky most of the way through. Making lots of jokes, people having interactions, all kinds of fun shit.
Mm-hmm. It's not till the end where it's like,
Yeah.
so.
And Thor Ragnarok is a tone-deaf film that, again, could be on the level of Iron Man 3, but the fact that people liked it is what made it better. That's all. That's it. This could have really went the completely wrong way, but I think everybody loves all of these actors and loves a lot of these characters that they gave it all a pass.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, and because of the style they did, so it's more what
It's fun.
general audience wants from the movie, anyways.
it was just
Something a little
fun.
funner.
I
Yeah.
would argue this is the kind of movie people expect when they hear comic book movie,
Mm.
not an actual film.
Right.
And people are like, what are you talking about? It's like, yeah, go watch The Winter Soldier. Do you
Right.
think either of these movies are in the same universe?
Well, that's what freaking like Dark Knight did back in the day. It's like, wow, this can actually be a movie, not just a comic book movie.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's my only issue with it. I don't think it's bad. It's fine. It's fine. It's fun. It's super. When people say it's fun, this movie is fun. And it was meant to be fun.
All right.
And it moves forward with some elements that are fine that lead into Infinity War, which I imagine, again, if Infinity War had sucked, I think Thor Ragnarok would have hurt because of it.
Right.
It just lucked out. Came out at the right time. That's all. But yeah, that's my number 12. It's a good movie, but doesn't deserve accolades or anything like that.
Okay.
So there you go. So next.
Next.
On to the next.
11. Mine is a Thor.
The
Ragnarok.
first
No,
Thor?
Ragnarok.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So mine was 11.
Oh, all right.
For kind of the same reasons too. Like, it didn't do what Dark World did. Like Dark World, when Dark World came out, it kind of like neglected everything the first movie like grew him into, and just made him back into this macho man again, where it's like
I
he
think
has nothing.
I feel like
him.
Thor and Hulk have been mismanaged this entire franchise. So
Which probably is why they threw him into a movie together, because they don't know what to do with people
It's
like that. They don't know
insane.
what to do with those characters.
Which
Yet
is
they'll bring in
fucking
an
insane. It's insane. You can absolutely write these characters. They're just lazy.
It's funny, like, because they're the two like most powerful characters in the MCU, I would
Yeah.
say. But then they can't write them into a decent storylines or well, into a decent
Which
movie.
I'll fight you because we're about to get to Thor 1
but
at some point.
yeah, no, but I'm saying after they've introduced them.
Yeah.
But then they'll bring in another really powerful character as Captain Marvel and expect to get something better. I don't understand.
They break their lore, dude. They break
Yeah.
their universe. Like,
So-
it's sad.
But that was number 11 is Thor
Your
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My 11 was actually Captain America,
First one.
the first Avenger.
Okay.
You know why I like it. That's why I put it a little higher. I think we can pretty much gloss over it. I think all like a lot of the technical stuff I think could be said for Captain America that Thor Ragnarok had on the technical like movie building aspects and like
Right.
the CGI and shit, which is pathetic considering Captain America came out so much earlier.
And that I also feel Thor Ragnarok had so much more time to do a good
Yeah.
movie, because Thor and Hulk weren't in any movies for like what, a few
Yeah.
years.
They could have started writing it and piecing elements together
Yeah.
and whatever, but they just didn't. They were lazy. Captain America is a good movie. I almost wanted to put it in my top 10 just because I like a lot of their stuff, but again, just better movies in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I got. I just yeah.
Okay. All right. So my number 10 then is Iron Man 2.
Okay.
I liked it. I
awesome.
liked Whiplash's suit, the first one, not when, the
You
end
mean
of the
when
movie.
when his
When he
fucking
actually
jail suit
had
gets burnt?
Whiplash, like whips.
I absolutely agree.
Mickey Rourke was made for that suit, not for the one at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
He just looked
Again,
badass in it.
that was, I mean, let's be fair. That was when Marvel didn't know what they were doing yet.
Right.
And it created the problem of the good guy fighting just a bigger version of the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of lame.
But yeah, number 10 probably because there are a lot of things in it that could have been handled a lot better, story wise, especially. They did tackle the whole disease thing that he was giving himself.
I like
that shit.
that.
So that
I
was
did
pretty
like
cool.
a repercussion. I did like a repercussion of the thing that he.
And he has to try and figure it out, and we actually get to see him figure it out.
Dude, we don't get any of that ever again.
Nope.
Like everybody would say Iron Man 3 when he's like doing the funny thing where his pieces are coming after him.
Yeah.
And doing the.
But it's not really. You're not really him showing you how he's figuring it out.
Yeah.
Like, because even at the end of the movie, he's like, "We'll figure this out for the extremist thing in Pepper."
Yep.
But you don't get to see him.
You
try
don't
and
get to
figure
fucking see
out.
it, and we never do.
Yeah.
We don't even know that it's a thing. Also, why do they give her a fucking suit for Endgame's a piece of shit, by the way. Why'd they give her a fucking suit? She still, as far as I know, she still has the extremist program in her. She could have just went to the middle of it and fucking time bombed, blown up, and then reanimated and been fine. She could have shoved her hand up fucking Thanos' ass and blew up, and then he'd have died.
There you go.
And Ant-Man could have went down her mouth, and we'd all blew up, and it'd all been great. Fucking stupid fucking piece of shit movie. Anyway.
So, what's number 10 for you then?
No, I want to keep going on Iron Man 2, because surprisingly, it's really close. Not surprisingly, actually. You and I are pretty close on this. Iron Man 2, I think, gets a lot of hate for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending kind of sucks.
I like that they brought Justin Hammer in too to give him like
he's great.
Not only is it like a villain, but it's also like showing like
competition,
right?
Real world stakes.
Yeah,
like he's in a fucking law office and like he's in the like Supreme Court dealing with this shit because of him. Mm-hmm. You get real world problems on top of superhero problems.
Something that Civil War tries to do too.
Tries, fuck you, does it better. I will defend that shit to my soul. I mean, Justin Hammer's great. The fucking F1 race is awesome.
Yeah,
it's just a cool element. And then we get into a superhero fight on top of that, which again, I'm going to argue every single time people talk about the MCU and like big solid moments, they reference Iron Man 2, but talk shit about it. It makes no sense. The briefcase suit up is easily one of the top 3 suit ups in the entire MCU. Palladium thing is solid with him. Like think about his like learning how to make the element.
Right.
He finds that thing about his dad. The secret message his dad left him. It's all stuff that was predicated that's set up later.
Mm-hmm.
This is all
and you
stuff
get to see Howard
about.
Stark and all that shit. So
the Captain America shield, he uses that as a fucking prop to make his laser work. Like they do really cool. He's sitting inside of the donut and he has a talk with Nick Fury and Scarlet Witch.
Right.
It's Scarlett Johansson, not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. In the donut shop, they're talking about the shit. He's in an Iron Man suit. It's funny. It's all fucking... it's grounded and it's crazy at the same time. That movie gets way too much hate.
You're going to be like, "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to exit the donut."
Yeah. It's great. And then, like, he has to fight with Rhodey.
Yeah.
Like, him and Rhodey have a legit Iron Man fight. Are you fucking kidding me? This is great. It's so good. That movie's fucking great. I'm gonna watch it again just to spite everyone. That fucking shit is so good. I wish I could put it higher because it's a good film. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there are some problems with it. The ending fight is lame. Mickey Rourke is 50-50. I don't know. Really, other than that, I don't really have any problems with it.
It's not my parrot.
I don't have a lot of problems with it. I think Iron Man 2 is a solid film. So would you like to know my 10?
Sure.
Thor, number 1.
Okay.
Would you like, just for the sake of it, because we were talking about it, would you like to know my number 9?
Sure.
Number 9 was Iron Man 2.
Okay.
So we're right there.
So Thor is your number 10, though.
Thor is my 10.
Okay.
So what's your 9?
My 9 is Far From Home.
Okay. So I'll go off of Thor then.
Okay.
The reason why Thor made the top 10 is because I thought it not only was it one of the it was so different than what we'd seen with all the Marvel movies. Because I mean, think about it. What did we have? Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. I don't even know if Captain America came before Thor.
Captain America was before or after Thor.
So, I mean, think about it. We got those, and then we got Thor.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That should not have worked. And they gave him all these, like, Shakespearean, like, fucking dialogue. So I get it. It could off-put some people, but it's like we're introducing a world. We were world building.
Yeah.
The acting is phenomenal, dude. Like, it's insane. And a lot of the jokes are great. And it feels pretty grounded. You know, the hammer pull scene from when it first gets dropped, like everybody's trying to figure it out and Phil Coulson's out there. That's a great moment. You introduce Hawkeye. Doesn't really do anything, but we still get it, the introduction.
Yeah.
But him trying to pick the hammer up is a great scene. Him being casted out is amazing. Loki gets fleshed out as a full 3-dimensional character. The tell me scene, like where he's talking to his dad about, you just took me. I was a prize. I'm not your son. I'm some fucking item.
Yeah.
I'm some
war trophy.
Some fucking trophy that you hold.
Yeah.
And it's so good. It's like you have to and Anthony Hopkins, dude, it's the only time as Odin he actually gets to fucking act in this entire fucking franchise. It's insane. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
They cast him out. Idris Elba, they do a race bend on him. Nobody gives a shit.
No.
And he does a great job. So there you go.
It doesn't matter really.
Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman's fine. The scientist dude is great. They actually have some good comic book, Donald Blake, fucking deep comic book lore, Easter eggs. Kat Dennings is actually not annoying in this. It's actually pretty funny. The Bifrost could have been really fucking lame, but they did a good job. And Asgard looks fucking cool.
You mean you didn't want to see the rainbow going up to the fucking...
Fuck, dude. Like Rainbow Bright. He could have rode a fucking unicorn up the goddamn rainbow. That movie is underappreciated. I'm going to tell everyone easily. Costumes are solid. The world building's great. You never once question the world building afterwards.
Yeah.
They did it so solid. You don't ask any fucking questions. So Thor deserves to be in the top 10. I think a lot of it's because it's different. I know that shouldn't be the.
It's one of those ones though too, like Doctor Strange. You didn't expect them to actually do what they
It
do.
came out of nowhere. Or I'd argue Guardians. You're
Yeah.
fucking around with a tree and a fucking raccoon. That movie should not have worked. People shit on that way before it come out, and then it's considered one of the most beloved films in the franchise. So, yeah. So Thor is my number 10.
Okay.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Go watch it if you want to fucking.
Wait, your
fight
number
me.
10 or your number?
Thor.
Yeah, because Iron Man 2 is my number 10.
Yeah, Thor
Yeah.
is my 10.
Okay.
So your 9.
My 9 is Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Mine is Iron Man 2. So
Okay. So
we won't talk about it because we know. So my 9 is Iron Man 2. Your 9 is Spider-Man:
Far From Home. Just because I feel like I thought Mysterio was a cool take on that character. The way they did it. You don't like or at least you told me you thought it was like a creepy thing, like when he's like doing the whole explaining scene in the bar after he gets the glasses.
Cringe, not
Cringe,
creepy.
yeah.
Cringy. Yeah.
So I like that though. I was like, that's kind of a cool way to do it, like to just be like, here's what fucking happened, people, because you're stupid and won't get it if we try and hide it in the movie. But yeah,
But I feel like you having to do that meant you added too many characters to his backstory. You didn't need all of that explanation. No, I'm serious. Like, the guy who got yelled at by Obadiah was perfect.
yeah,
It should have ended there. Two guys who have been wronged by the Tony Stark legacy moving forward to fuck the Avengers over. I get it. But really, that's not even the plan. The whole plan, everybody forgets about it, is he wants to be an Avenger. That was his end game.
yeah.
That was his goal. What the fuck was he going to do when he became an Avenger? What was he going to do?
He wanted an Avenger
purpose.
level threat without bringing in the Avengers, which was also funny.
It's fucking dumb. And the problem is I actually bought him more as the good guy than I did as the bad guy.
Okay.
And that was a huge problem. You fucked your movie up that way. And Spider-Man's not really Spider-Man. He's telling everybody, the movie sucks. The more I think about it, I hate it. But it's fun. It's fun. Would I watch it again? Yeah, probably. It's fine. It's stupid. I hate it. It's not good. I can't talk on it because I really don't like it.
Right.
The sunglasses are dumb. I'm like, what the fuck? The more I think about it, the more I hate it. It's bad. It's just as bad as Endgame. It wanted to tie a bunch of shit. It's like, you should have been your own thing. Endgame ended. Get your Tony Stark shit out of the way in the first 15 minutes. Have some sad scenes, a funeral, and then move forward. That's what you should have done. It was fucked. It was fucked. That movie fucking sucks. And then they ruin it even worse with the ending, and they're fucking. It's not even Nick and Maria Hill. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking. Oh my god. fuck that movie. Fuck.
I just think John doesn't like it when you fuck with stuff.
No, I don't. I don't like retcons. It's lazy writing and it's bullshit. Especially.
Well, that one really didn't retcon anything. Yeah, it put the guy in Civil War, but it's like, I mean,
Nick and Maria Hill. How long have they been there? We don't know about the Skrulls. Who else are Skrulls? How many Skrulls are there? What are we doing? I thought
hundreds. They actually
they're good
mentioned
guys, right?
that there's a Skrull initiative in place on Earth in that
Cool, and
movie.
that's dumb. Why didn't we talk about that in Captain Marvel? No, because they didn't think about it. They were busy retconning shit. Then we have Nick
Because it
show
was
up on the fucking end
before
of the
the
ship.
Skrull initiative took place.
And
That's
then
why.
Nick's on the fucking ship.
He's
I hate
creating Sword.
It's lame. It's all fucking lame. It's lame. He could have made Sword with new Shield agent. It's fucking stupid. Fuck that movie. Sorry.
Does that mean we get a Sword TV show on the Disney app? Since
Sure,
they're
why not?
ending Shield.
Sure, fucking why not?
All right.
Give me
So
something else
what
to
number
watch.
are we on? That was
I
your
don't even know. I'm so mad. Spider-Man Far From Home. Fuck you.
Far From Home.
9.
That
So
was 9. And
I
your-
crossed out 9. I'm
and your
Iron Man 2
9
for 9.
was Iron Man 2. Okay. So then
what's your 8?
My 8 was Thor, which we already talked about.
Okay.
Um
I'm curious about what your thoughts on Thor are, though. Why you actually put it pretty high? You put it higher than me. Shit.
Yeah, the only thing really about that movie that I didn't like, but I've gotten over it over the years, was his beard.
Yeah. Well, and his hair.
It
all
seemed
looks
like
stupid.
his whole outfit, his whole thing looked way too, I guess,
Fake.
comic booky. I mean,
It looked fake. It looked like
it
they
just-
all bleached it and
yeah.
tagged it on his head. It all
because
looked
especially
fake.
now when you see his beard and stuff, it's not like super
It looks
bright
like a human.
blonde, and it's
It looks like a
it's
fucking human.
normal.
I feel you. Just
Even in the
aesthetic.
second one, the aesthetic of him in the second one was even better.
And the
his
third
appearance.
act sucks. Don't get me wrong. The third act is fucking lame.
Where he fights the what do they call that thing? Stupid robot thing.
Destroyer or something.
Yeah.
Something lame.
Yeah.
It's a fucking lame name.
But it did give us really good scenes between Thor and Odin and Loki, and you
Yeah.
really get to
The
see that
world
family
building.
connection
That
and
movie
everything.
was strictly world building.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
And
I
they
don't
let-
know if-
They did let like Anthony Hopkins do a lot more fucking like oh shit.
Come
Um
on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it.
Nope,
do it.
I can't think of it.
All right, fair enough.
Fuck, they let
Anthony
him.
Hopkins.
They let him do ad libs a lot more in that. So
Yeah,
that's where you
and he-
get a
and
lot
he
more
fucking nailed
cooler
it.
ad libs with
And he
him.
fucking nailed it.
And I mean, if you're having a good big talent like that, why the fuck not let them actually talk?
Well, and also with his history of good ad libs,
Yeah.
because like Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
a lot of that stuff was ad libbed. So, I mean,
Hello,
there's a
Clarice.
difference between being talented with ad libs and letting them go for a minute, or just going like, "Oh, I didn't write the story. I'm just gonna
Right.
let funny people try and be funny." It's lame.
Right.
Okay.
Where I guess
yeah.
with Ant-Man, they actually did a whole lot of that was ad lib with the Ant-Man movie.
Well, it's Paul Rudd. I mean, come on.
All right,
So my number 8,
you're 8.
Age of Ultron.
Okay.
So I put it up higher because again, it set up a lot of stuff. Again, I think I mean, pretty much if you just don't have Ultron talk, I'm not kidding. Let him have his scenes, but you change his dialogue because he's a robot. If you were to just give him a faceless robot face and change his dialogue, I think this movie would be much better.
Yeah.
I really don't know a lot of hate that people get for this movie. I think it's relatively well done. And it's a lot more watchable and more entertaining than most of these. So I just put it higher. Probably subjective, but I still like it. I don't care.
Right.
It's a good setup. It's a good setup for the rest of the stuff that comes, and there you go. I think people underappreciate it. So
Okay.
there you go.
So number 7 then.
Number 7.
I got Homecoming.
Shut the fuck up.
Is that you?
Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 7. Spider-Man Homecoming.
There we go. I love the movie. Vulture's fucking phenomenal in it.
Dude, Michael
And-
Keaton. Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
The world building's good. Yeah, they fucked up with the year thing or whatever, like bummer with the continuity, but it's one of the most tight-in movies.
Oh, like the stupid like years later or
it
whatever.
was like
bullshit.
8 years later.
They can
were
literally go back and change that.
That's what I'm saying. You
I'm
could
like,
really
before the
do
DVD
that.
release, y'all could change that shit.
Honestly, you could say, yeah, it's a after fact fuck up, but still, it's a continuity error. Continuity errors happen. But it's one of the most tied in movies to the entire MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of the events from Avengers is what creates your villain. Iron Man's literally in the film. They set up Pepper Potts and all of the Iron Spider stuff. And
Yeah.
I mean, there's merch. Like, people know about the Avengers. It's all... Bruce Banner has his face, has a picture of him plastered up with real-life scientists in their school. Captain America is doing fucking, be better people videos.
Which
for
is
the high
interesting,
school.
though, because Bruce Banner has been gone since Age of
Doesn't
Ultron.
matter. He's still a scientist.
But he was
he's a
on the
scientist of
lam
history.
for the longest time.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Until they
He's a
found him
scientist.
in Avengers.
A Nazi scientist would still be put in the books. Their contributions to science, do not negate their intelligence.
I guess I can't say nothing because they still do play the stupid Captain America shit when he's a fugitive. So there.
He even says that. The guy
I know,
says that.
I
He's
know
like,
he
he's like
says
a
that.
war criminal now.
But just
No,
because
he's a
they
scientist.
say it doesn't mean it's any better, John.
But he's a scientist.
So we are on number 6. We both had Homecoming for 7.
That was awesome.
That's pretty cool. Number 6, your favorite, Civil War. I got
Wow,
Civil War
really?
in there.
That low?
Well, I mean,
That makes me sad.
it's
I get it.
It's a good movie, and they have the flashy fight scene and all that stuff. And I like the real world repercussions of everything that they show, especially at the beginning. But then it gets kind of by the number, basically.
Don't worry, I'll fight you later on that. But yeah, I mean, it's not too low. I appreciate the fact that it's high. Anything else you really liked about it?
I like that they show more of like how the friendship with Tony and Cap is supposed to be, and then of
Yeah.
course how it develops because Cap's more friends with Bucky, yet he doesn't give Bucky the shield. Instead, he gives someone else the shield that's not even there with him. But okay.
What? Endgame's a piece of shit. Yeah, no, I agree. The character interactions in this movie it's fucking incredible. Like Just everybody nailed it. Like, it all makes sense.
I did appreciate them showing like one of the high advanced prisons that they have for the raft and stuff.
Yep.
It was pretty dope to see that in there.
Would have been nice if we'd heard anything more about that. But no, we just kill all our
Right.
villains. God forbid we fucking take them to the big, high, crazy prison that we introduced. Fucking
Well, I
introduced.
mean, Zemo. Maybe
he's not
the-
even super powered. Who cares? He's smart. He's a
Yeah.
good villain.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe sending Claw's fucking stupid ass over there would have been good. Maybe sending Killmonger over there would have been good. Maybe sending anybody fucking stupid.
All right.
So that's funny. So your 6 is Civil War.
Yeah. What's yours?
Winter Soldier,
Okay.
which I would argue kind of about the same.
Yeah.
It kind of starts on Winter Soldier. I would like to put higher. I know people really, really like it. Honestly, in my opinion, I almost put it lower. It's really good.
I think people really, really like it because it was something completely changing the
It was
the
game
tone.
changer.
Yeah.
It was an espionage film.
It was Marvel's version of like the Dark Knight to show, hey, this can be a real
or like
movie.
fucking. I actually felt more like a Bourne Supremacy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like like the Bourne movies. I liked that aspect. It was a little more grounded. It was a little more fun. Like not fun, but like espionage-y, crazy. Like made you think. It was kind of like a Mission Impossible type thing.
Right.
My only problem with it is fucking long. It's long as shit. It's kind of boring.
It's only
boring.
It's only 2 hours, right?
Only 2 hours for a fucking action film. Like, come on. Man.
Yeah.
And especially because they don't do a lot of action stuff. Like, yeah, they have big sections of action set pieces. But like, there's a lot of fucking setup and exposition. Like when they find the computer stuff with the fucking Nazi dude, and they're like having to deal with his fucking stupid face, like the Tinkerer looking guy or whatever his name is. It's fucking boring as sin. But once you get through all of that, it's like the movie's solid. It's a solid espionage film. Action's really solid. Characters are fleshed out, so you're already working with good backstory.
Right.
It just looks good too, and it's just so well shot. The fight choreography is insane. It's so good. It's a lot better than other Marvel movies. They actually let them fight a little more. They don't cut as much. They still do their super cuts, but it's not as bad. So I like Winter Soldier. It's at 6. Honestly, personally, I would have probably put it lower. But I put it a little higher because I understand that it's really well received, and I actually do like it.
Okay.
I think the length thing is subjective, so I let it go.
Okay. We'll get that. I'll say my shit on that when I get to it, because I haven't done that one yet. Number 5. That's what we're on, right? 5.
What was your 6?
Civil War.
Civil War. Okay, so mine was Winter Soldier. Okay, so your 5 then.
My 5, Guardians Volume 1.
Okay. So that being said, I'm curious what your 4 is then.
Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay. So your 5 was Guardians 1.
Volume 1, yeah.
Okay, curious. Why? That's pretty high, man. I like it.
Because I loved it. It was one of those movies, too, I got to go in seeing without knowing jack shit about the
You didn't
storyline.
even see it. Oh, like comics or anything?
Yeah, the comics, yeah. Because they don't even tackle like the actual Guardians of the Galaxy that like I
Like the
had
main
read.
crew. Like
yeah,
the main
like
crew
the
with
like the
Nova
original ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Yondu was part of the original Guardians, so
And Nova.
and yeah. And all the ones they show in Guardians 2, basically.
yeah.
Even the little robot thing that Miley Cyrus plays. Oh yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that.
Yeah, she
I learned something today.
she
That's
voices like the little robot dude for like half a
be
second.
awesome. I'll be looking that up.
But yeah, no, Guardians Volume 1, number 5. I just love it. The tone of it was another one of those tone shifts that was different, but it wasn't like where Thor Ragnarok went comedy, but this was comedy with serious tones into it too, but they
Yeah.
actually had repercussions to the storyline, where Thor, like you said, a lot of things were happening, but they weren't really getting a chance to flush those feelings out or whatever.
Yeah.
So-
It's like I love the tone. They understood what they were doing. Like they start off really sad, like, and it's all stuff we could get behind. The mom
Dude,
had
every
cancer.
time I fucking watched that movie in
It's sad.
theaters, yeah,
I'll
I
cry.
cried.
I'll cry like a bitch every time. The mom having chemo and him wanting to leave, and he runs away and gets abducted, and I mean, it comes up all the time. Like, it's not something that you just let go. And
Right.
then he meets all these characters in this jail, and it's like, it's all good. It's so hard, and like the soundtrack is solid. I get why all these movies wanted to try and steal their aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
It was so well done. It shouldn't have worked. On paper, this should not have worked.
Right.
But James Gunn is a goofy dude.
That's
and
one reason I think that they like really like were on the rim of like showing Thanos in the movie, because you barely see him in there, even though he's in there. Because they're like, if this doesn't work, we don't want any association with
right?
this shit. Oh,
I mean, it's so good. All the actors are solid. It looks beautiful too. Like, it's insane how good it looks. Like, even the CGI saw Rocket and Groot, you never once sit there and go, they're not there.
right.
Like, you buy
Right.
it.
And the opening scene with Rocket and Groot too was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stan Lee's cameo's good.
Yeah.
Fucking Gamora's a badass. I mean, I really, it's so hard to find a flaw. It's so hard to find a flaw in this movie.
And the soundtrack is just boss.
They nailed it. Aside
Like,
from
it
the
goes
fact that it's
along with
incorporated,
what's happening.
Yeah, aside from the fact that it's incorporated really well, it's just a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you like these songs, even if you don't like them all, you're gonna like at least 3.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody
And
says. There's a song in there you will like.
And like, I get that the movie, you know, it's the first one, so we're seeing the characters develop as they're coming together, but it's so much better than the second one. So much better.
I absolutely agree. It's so good. I could kiss that movie's ass all day.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it a bit.
And
so
even
my
seeing
number
the Nova Corps too, though. I love
Yeah.
seeing the Nova
Oh, John
Corps.
C. Reilly and Glenn Close.
And it's
good-
like,
good
I
stuff.
really want to see the Nova Corps being destroyed now by Thanos, because I'm like, I missed
to see
out
him
on
fight
that.
the
Yeah.
Battle of Nova.
Oh
or
yeah.
something. I could see that. That could be fun.
Because they
I mean,
completely
I still
decimated
give you
that
shit. I
planet.
gave you shit a while ago about like, you really want to see that. I'm like, I don't know. Glenn Close and John C. Reilly are pretty solid, so they could probably do a cute little like mini war movie where they end up losing. It's like, you know, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Makes it sad.
But also, you get Nova that actually comes from there. So, are we bringing Nova into the universe
So
or
hopefully
not?
we do. I actually would like to see him introduced at some
Yeah.
point. But
All right. So, your number
5
5
was your Guardians. Your
Yeah.
5 was Guardians.
Yes.
My 5 was Iron Man. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna get a lot of hate for the first Iron
Okay.
Man.
No, I can see, because a lot of people will say Iron Man's number 1, but that's just because it started the franchise.
Yeah, I
It's
argue
not
it's
really
because they started.
the best of all of them all.
Yeah, we have problems. Terrence Howard was fine as Rhodey. I like. I much prefer Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Granted, yeah, we went
Yeah.
farther with him, but it's like, I just liked him. I just find him to be a better actor. But
I think he comes off better as the military type too.
yeah, Iron Man's a good film. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's just other ones are better.
I mean, every time I see Terrence Howard though too, I think of Hustle and Flow. So
Yeah, agreed. Or I actually think about Terrence Howard's math stuff that he was trying to introduce. That's what I think about. Yeah, I really can't talk on Iron Man that much because I think everybody talks it to death. I think it's
Yeah.
great. It gets called back in a lot of movies. Not enough. The fact that the AC/DC Black Sabbath stuff pretty much disappeared after Iron Man 2 is pathetic. I still have a problem with it. I always will. And Endgame sucks. So, yeah, Iron Man's a great film, but I'm sorry, better ones are out there. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
okay.
Thank you for starting it, though. I appreciate you.
No, yeah, it was a good one. And you introduced Shield and Nick Fury.
it was a-
You start the universe. Everyone's gonna say
They
that.
start the
That's why.
universe. It's great. So,
Yeah.
congratulations on starting the universe.
right.
But it doesn't, just because you started it, it doesn't mean you perfected it. there you
So
go.
I'm on number 4. Number 4 was Winter Soldier for me.
Here, let me do this.
All right.
If I've never baked a cake before, my first cake is not going to be as good as my like 23rd cake.
Yes, it is.
But to be
The
fair, it is
23rd
better
cake
than-
that
it is better than the Captain Marvel cake. So, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the best analogy I can come up with. So there you go.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, number
number
4 is Winter Soldier. I just love the espionage in it. I love everything. The only thing I didn't love was Scarlett Johansson's hair. How they just straightened the shit out.
Her character. Yeah.
And then it was weird because they kind of did like the relationship with her and Cap.
I didn't like that. And
but then they did the relationship with her
Yeah.
and Bruce, and I'm like, is she just who's she hooking up with next? Because they tried to do like she was flirting with Tony to get hired in too.
But to be fair, that's
Espionage. I know.
I never bailed on that.
Yeah.
But it was like her and Cap having a relationship made sense, but they don't fledge it out. And people would be like, but him and Peggy's fucking
Right.
dead. Like, come on. No, this is what. But then they introduced Sharon Carter, and I'm like, wow, fuck all of this. Like, yeah, this is absurd. A little superficial on your reasonings, but I can get it. I can get behind it. It's fine. I do have the same problem, so it didn't hurt me with the movie, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I absolutely I'd agree.
Okay.
Number 4.
Winter Soldier. Also, I love fucking Bucky in it.
Oh, dude.
Like the Winter Soldier. I love the Winter Soldier in that
Talk
movie.
about a fucking underutilized character.
Yeah,
they just use him as a pawn. I hate it.
And the fact that he's only really a bad guy in one movie. It's like you guys could have done some pretty dope
He's
shit
a
with that.
puppet. He's just a fucking toy. Like, people just put him where they need him to be, and it's annoying.
I hope he
Don't
gets
get me-
brainwashed again in the TV show.
Don't get me wrong. I don't really like Sebastian Stan as the guy, but he does a good job, and I like the character. So fuck you, Marvel, for like just treating him like nothing.
Yeah.
It's lame.
He gets pushed to
my-
the back burner. So you're number 4.
Absolutely agree. My number 4 is Guardians Volume 1.
All right.
I love it. How do you get this band of characters put together that had no business being good, but you fucking nailed it?
Yeah.
The aesthetics are solid. It looks beautiful. The acting is insane. And setup is all good. I
And
mean,
for
there's-
something that's so comedic, it's so serious at the same
One
time.
silly. Like, I mean, you have a walking raccoon and a walking tree as
Yeah.
your main characters, not in the movie, but as your main fucking characters.
Right.
And I would argue Rocket has turned out to be one of the most emotionally connective characters in the entire fucking franchise. It's insane. And that's kudos to James Gunn. I think he's a silly guy who knows how to make a script. And
Which he got
They
his
nailed
start. He got his start at Troma Entertainment. So
There
fuck
you go.
you. Go watch
Go
those
watch-
movies.
go watch Slither, man, with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Guardians 1 is a beloved thing for me because I just think it was a cheese factor that didn't have cheese on it. It
Yeah.
was weird. It was like you were looking at it going, this is going to be dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
And then you watch it, you go, I give a shit about every single one of these characters.
And when it was announced too, people are like, "We don't want to see that. We want more fucking Iron Man. We want
Exactly.
more of this. We want."
No, I
you-
get it.
you know.
But you needed to bring the cosmos in. You
Yeah.
had to. And this failed, I mean, what were you going to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? It deserves it. I got it higher because not only do I personally love it, but I think it did a lot for the franchise.
Okay.
It was able to expand their universe in a literal way, and it deserves a lot of accolades for it.
Right.
And I guarantee you, it's the best-selling soundtrack of the entire MCU. So.
Oh yeah.
It has to be. Like, come on. Granted, it's because they use a bunch of movies that were or music
Songs.
that was already loved, but they actually incorporated it, and it wasn't like Suicide Squad where they just took their iTunes playlist and said, "These are my favorite songs. Let's use them."
Right.
So,
Okay.
Guardians is great.
And that
So
was
there
your
you go.
number 4?
4.
Okay.
Yep.
So my number 3 is Iron Man, which we've already
Okay.
talked about it. I
Yep.
put it up there just because, it
Again,
did start everything, but it's like a really well put together movie until the end fight scene, really.
Yeah.
Like once he starts fighting.
Which, in retrospect, you could say that about every.
Yeah, you
fucking
can say
movie at
about
this
most of them. I mean,
Black Panther.
well, Guardians actually did well for their end. I mean, it was a dance
battle.
off, but
Come on, dude.
at least
only
they weren't
reason why is
fighting.
'cause-
But it was the one movie too where they weren't fighting somebody like them.
Yes, I agree.
And then you had the Nova thing going
I'd
on.
argue
and
they didn't fight him though.
Yeah, they didn't fight him.
So,
but
so
you
it's
also
fine.
had like the whole Nova ships trying to hold back the thing and stuff. so-
You get all the war element
Yeah.
fighting stuff
for
earlier.
for
so-
something called Guardians of the Galaxy, you really get
Yeah.
like a bigger ending than two guys fighting.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
So
Nicely done. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I can't talk on it more, but I like
yeah.
it. I like it.
So yeah, number 3 is Iron Man for me, just because. I mean, and even going back after watching Endgame and watching that, fucking cried my ass off because
Those
I'm like,
callbacks for the cheeseburgers.
cheeseburgers, man.
You're such a nerd. I love it. So my number 3, Infinity War.
Okay.
I would love to have put it higher because I actually do find it to have a lot more rewatchability. I enjoy it a ton all the way through. Really, the only scene I tend to skip is the Gamora Thanos scene.
Where
really
he
care.
throws her away?
No,
Or
when he
throws her off.
as a child.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No,
yeah.
as a child when he picks her up. I don't really care. I get it. He's his daughter. I don't care. It does flesh him out, but once I already know about that,
Right. And
I already have
we
it.
really don't need to know it anyways. We don't need to see that scene because we understand because of the shit she said in Guardians about
we
her
know
dad.
his motivations,
Yeah.
and I get it. It is nice to see for the first time. I would never say take it out of the movie for the first viewing. You absolutely want it there,
Right.
but for
To understand, yeah.
yeah. But for additional viewings, you don't need it. I tend to skip that a lot.
But that scene also kind of makes him look like a fucking psycho. Where then the rest
Which
of the
is
movie,
the point, though. Which is the point, though. It's
but
like,
then the rest of
it
the
should-
movie, they're kind of trying to get you to be like, well, maybe he's right. Half
But again,
the
that's the
universe?
point.
Okay.
But again, that's a point. You're literally saying the thing that they're trying to do. It's
Yeah.
He's altruistic. It makes him 3-dimensional, and that's really, really good.
Right.
Me skipping that scene is subjective, mostly just because it is a relatively long film. So I like to cut a little time if I could.
Okay.
But I love it. CGI looks like shit already. The Iron Man suit is lame. I don't think the nano suit suit up is as cool as people make it out
No,
to be.
it's not. It's not. It's not.
But all the fucking character interactions are absolutely insane. They're
Yeah.
so good.
The only
You're
thing,
embarrassing me in front of the wizards.
Yeah.
The Hulk setup thing that we never get a payoff for because Endgame fucking blows cock. It's all good. It's all good. The children of Thanos are awesome. Thanos.
yeah, Thanos.
They even nerf Vision, which is a problem that
Yeah.
people would always have a problem with overpowered people. They nerfed him quickly to abide for that, and he ends up being one of the like quintessential parts of the storyline.
Right.
Obviously because he has a stone in, but I'm talking like, you get some of your best dialogue because of it. We don't trade lives and shit like that. It's just good. The dialogue is solid. The motivations are all there.
Dude, like,
Fucking,
there's
good.
so much good in it, and then there's some things that could be done differently.
Yeah.
But I mean, for that movie, especially with the follow-ups, the next 2 follow-ups after that, it's kind of like that movie's definitely going to be better. Period.
Yeah, I have to argue with people that I go, Infinity War is better because of the lackluster shit that we got afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, this was so
Well, again,
good.
like,
This was,
both the movies that came after was Captain Marvel and then Endgame. And Captain
See, and
Marvel basically does like fan throw in bullshit.
well, it's prequel, so it's nothing.
And,
It
yeah.
has nothing to do with Infinity War.
And
so who
then
cares?
Endgame is nothing but fan service bullshit.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you can do fan service and make a good movie, but
Yep.
you have to do it.
Yeah, fan service
subtly.
seems to be a dirty word lately, and I don't like it. Just because they do it poorly doesn't make it bad.
Right.
My other argument is that I've even been willing to say, and this is a huge thing to say, this was the Empire Strikes Back of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
We watched them lose, and we were ready to see what happened, and we got nothing. We got absolutely dick. Like this great villain that was built up for fucking 8 years. We finally saw him. He got beheaded in 5 minutes.
Right.
Like, no, they fight Thanos at the end. They don't fight that Thanos.
Should have just
It's
fucking
horseshit.
ended it there.
It's fucking horseshit. No, I'm not kidding. At that point, I honestly probably would have liked that movie better if they'd have just cut the credits after they cut his head off. Like, why the fuck? There's no reason to move forward at that point. It was lame. It's fucking lame.
I really
hate
wish they
Endgame.
would have done the movie without time travel, though. It's like there was so much
They could have figured
more
it out. It's
stuff that
horseshit.
they could have done to
There's
do that.
so many ways. There's so many ways they could have fixed it. It's all horseshit. I would have said everybody who died got put in the Soul Stone. That was the point. There you go. Now we have to figure out how to get in the Soul Stone. There, you're welcome.
Right.
Fucking fixed your movie in 2 minutes. Infinity War is great. I'm not gonna talk on it forever because it's relatively new. Everybody has seen it. If you don't like it, really, I think at the end of the day, it's because either you're not invested at that point, you don't know everything that's going on,
Or you
the
just didn't
CG
like the ending. Because there's a
Yeah,
lot of people that
are
were
super-
just like, this is what?
But they don't get the point. But that's people who don't get the point. So
Right.
fuck their opinion, really, honestly. No, because seriously, if you don't understand what's happening, then you're just dumb. Because
Yeah.
either you're not doing the research, or you're just dumb. Like it's
Yeah.
one or the other. I'm not saying like, oh, you didn't get it. I'm saying no, literally, that ending was sad because it builds up to the next movie. That's the point.
Right.
It wasn't some higher meaning thing that you couldn't understand. It was literal in your face. They lost. There, you're welcome. But Infinity War is kind of meme the movie. If you haven't seen all the other ones, it's hard to enjoy by itself. So it is fun, but it does require extra viewings. I only put it 3 up there because I am invested and I like it. I like it as a MCU film. So there you go. It's
Okay.
at 3 for me. I would have liked to put it higher, but it doesn't stand on its own, by the way, by itself, and CGI is kind of shit. So there you go.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So, well, that takes care of my number 2 because number 2 is Infinity War. So,
There you go.
and I think we talked enough about it. And we've probably talked about it on our Endgame podcast too
Probably.
in there. So what was your number 2?
Avengers, the first one.
Okay.
I think a lot of it's because it stands on its own. Honestly, I don't think you need any of the other movies. They introduce the characters pretty solid because they reintroduce everyone.
Yeah. And they show you their personalities right away in all of them.
And they set up the stakes, and they're pretty cool. And CGI is going to be a problem. My biggest hang up is Captain America's costume. He looks like a dickhead.
Yeah. And they literally introduce Hulk in this one.
Yeah,
Like,
you get a new
it's
Bruce
not
Banner.
the same guy or
Yeah, you get a
anything
new
in the other
Banner.
one.
And they introduce him well. They even give him a full fucking scene, like going to get him and stuff
Yeah.
in India. It's awesome. It's got solid old school Joss Whedon writing. There are stakes. People die, which is good.
They get superhero poses.
I mean, it feels like they touted that line perfectly. Of it feels like a cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like a real world with real stakes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know,
And the way
'cause
that
it
they
sho-
do, especially because of at Avengers time too, just bringing all those characters into one movie
Mhm.
from the previous 5 is already a hard thing to do.
it's a monumental task. Yeah.
And I think they did a really good job. And then they were just like, oh, yeah, well, fuck you. We're going to do Infinity War.
It literally felt like somebody who gave a shit about all these characters, like taking all their toys and making a great story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just felt good. It felt good. The cinematography and stuff's a little bland. It's really boring lit, but for the most part, there's so much good shit and character interaction coming on. It's awesome. It literally felt like Joss Whedon's, like, he accidentally turned a movie into a TV show, but I bought it.
Right.
And I don't care.
Yeah, because you get like a certain amount of time with each character before they come together too,
Yeah.
and
It felt
everything.
good. If you like Joss Whedon, this is a fucking perfect film.
Oh yeah,
I love it. I think it's really, really good. It's why it can't be number 1 for me is because it's honestly subjective. I think it should be number 1,
Mhm.
but I have a subjective problem, so I'm going with it. Honestly, again, if I woke up on a different day, I'd probably switch my 1 and 2, depending on how I felt.
right.
So number 2 is the first Avengers, and that's why I got to put it there.
Okay.
Because it's subjective. 100% it's subjective.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Number 1 is The Avengers for me.
There you go.
So,
Totally makes sense.
um,
Totally makes sense.
just because of like pretty much everything we already said, and again, a huge Joss Whedon fan is me, is I, is us. We
He is
are
I, us
Whedon. No, I love to see that like the culmination of the first 5 movies just coming together. Granted, it's not the same Hulk and everything like that, but it was still cool to see it come together. You get to see the interaction between Hulk or Banner and Black Widow before they even write that shit
That
into
was
something.
awesome. Stop lying to me. Like, so good
Yeah.
scenes.
Like
or
it-
even like him then finding out Loki's plan. Like,
Yeah.
he wanted to get caught and stuff. It was like, it wasn't straightforward.
right.
And like Loki's introduction was fucking badass. And it made Nick Fury look like a fucking badass.
Mhm.
Fucking Christ.
And it
dude.
actually gave in a movie that was full of like people with superpowers or suits, it
Yeah.
gave Hawkeye actually something to do because they
or
turned
Black
him bad.
Widow. They
and
used
Black
Black Widow
Widow.
twice.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
she
yeah.
fucking outsmarted Loki. Like, that's awesome. They gave her a point. Phil Coulson even gets a 1-up on him.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like,
And it gave us
These-
Coulson. Oh, it gave us
I
Agents
know,
of Shield.
sad. But it was also good. Like, and think about the scenes. Like, even like prominent like moments that are gonna sadly it's sad, so fucking pathetically stand the test of time. The old guy in Germany, where Loki's standing over them saying,
Yes.
"You were meant to be ruled," and he stands up and goes, "There will always be men like you." It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's awesome. And it's sad that it's still prevalent now. And it's going to be prevalent 50 years from now. It's pathetic. But like, it's so good. It's and like every character was their character.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit. They were them.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you
it
get to
just
see
felt
a lot
good.
of a lot of things like pay off from that movie later
Come
on
back.
too. Way
Yeah.
way so much. I mean, even just like fucking Thor when he powers up Iron Man's suit. They use it in Endgame
Yeah.
for that sweet ass blaster that he built or something, I guess.
Endgame still sucks. Okay. That was dumb too, but whatever. It's a good movie, man. I wish I could put it at 1. I can't though, just because my boner will always live for Civil War. Civil War will always be my favorite fucking film. It feels like the film that when it all started, that was the one I wanted. That was what I pictured everything being. Everything was so matter of fact. There was no building. There was no bullshit. It was all,
Right.
this is the world we're in. Here we fucking go. Like, it's what an X-Men movie should have been. When Cap and Wanda and all them are showing up to save, to grab the
The helicarrier? Or not the
no,
helicarrier,
the vial, the fucking bio thing.
Oh,
that
at the beginning of the
Crossbones-
movie. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and all the dickheads are trying to steal. They're all using their powers together. They're doing teamwork shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you wanted to see Colossus throw fucking Wolverine. Like,
What
that's
happened
you want.
what happened to Falcon's little Falcon partner that he had in that movie?
He never uses.
He
it
never
again.
uses it again. Come
Nope.
on. The same
Yeah, and it was
directors. The
was
same
great, right?
directors did that movie that did the other 2 movies
It's
he was
studio,
in.
dude. I'm telling you, studio shit.
Oh.
They didn't get to keep doing their own movies. Civil War set up so much stuff that never gets paid off, which is fucking horseshit. And it's one of the most grounded films in the entire MCU. It's
Yeah.
one of the most grounded ones. Even with all these dickheads running around, you buy it. They're all having real moments. They're having the Tony Cap talking about doing internment camp stuff with Wanda.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like, it's not protecting its internment, Tony. Come on, give me a break. You know, they were really talking to each other, and the dialogue is so solid, and the setup is so brilliant that you literally spend your time going, who was right? People would sit and have legitimate discussions about Tony was wrong, Cap was wrong.
Right.
People will do that. And then fucking Black Widow turns on him. The introduction of Black Panther is fucking solid.
And he looks so much
He-
better.
He looks, his suit is fucking dope. And he's a badass. It's like, you know, it's like, how long do you think you can keep your friends safe from me?
Right.
You know, I talk to you from warrior to warrior. Like, come on, dude. He's a badass. He's so fucking cool. And it was Zemo, just some random ass dude.
Yeah, it's just a normal person. There's no actual big bad in that movie.
No.
Whatsoever.
And they subvert your expectations because you think they're all just going to fight Winter Soldiers at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, you show up, they're all blown up. They're all fucking
Dead.
bullet to the head. And he sets them all up. And it's amazing. And it forces you to have all these conversations with yourself outside of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, where do your morals lie? Like, what is more important on the grand scheme of things? And that's a good thing to talk about. It's important, especially when you're doing something so grandiose and outside of the norm. To ground it like that is so solid.
Yeah.
Spider-Man gets introduced.
I really wonder because the Falcon Winter Soldier show is going to be basically a continuation of Zemo from that.
I hope so.
So I hope that they keep it along the same lines of like the
Espionage.
style
I just
and
want it to
shit.
be
Yeah.
Espionage crazy.
Like, what is he gonna do? Because honestly, the way they introduce Zemo in the show is like, okay, the people that he was mad at, they already fought. They're already dead. They're already gone. Like, what's his motivation gonna be from now on?
Yeah. Well, to just dismantle the Avengers. They're still there.
There are no Avengers. There's no Avengers. If there was Avengers, they would have went over to Mysterio's Avengers level of threat.
I'm not going to say
things.
anything because you're wrong, but that's fine.
Fucking where's Hulk, man? Come on.
Well, he's dead. Hulk is dead. Only Banner exists.
Professor Hulk.
Thanks, because fucking Endgame's a piece of shit. Well, my other thing is like, look at this movie, and given all the things that it did, it's just like it stayed more grounded than anybody else. It gave you, it made you care about Tony and his parents more. Like, everybody talks about like him having that Howard Stark moment in Endgame. Civil War set that up.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about Sharon Carter. We don't talk about all this other good stuff that was really important. Yeah, fuck you, Endgame. You're dumb.
Peggy's
but again,
death in it too, like right before.
Yeah. But Spider-Man's introduction solid. Black Panther's introduction solid. I mean, this movie is so good. It's so grounded. And the reason why I know it's fucking phenomenal is because another movie came out that did the exact same fucking storyline and fucked it up completely. And it's called Batman v Superman. They're the exact same goddamn movie, almost shot for shot. Batman v Superman is a jumbled nonsense piece of shit, and Civil War is a bunch of established characters having an actual fight with a repercussion at the end.
Right.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
Like, think about the reveal is exactly the same. The difference is, he's like, he's my friend. So was I, but he killed my mom.
Right.
There you go. That's the line. Guess what they do in Superman?
Martha.
Why'd you say that name? It's like, fuck you, dude. It's
But
not
see,
the
that
same.
stopped them from fighting. In
But
Civil
it's not
War,
the
they didn't
same.
just like become buddies again right away.
But it doesn't matter. It was the context of what they were trying to do. It
Yeah.
was so fucking lame. It was lame. It was stupid. Even a black lady comes up and gets killed. Well, she doesn't die in Civil War, but she comes up with info. Like, it's those two movies are almost shot for shot the same fucking story. But I know Civil War is better because Batman v Superman's a piece of shit. So, yeah, Civil War is my number one, just because of the story. Honestly, if I woke up tomorrow and said I wanted to have a really, really fun time, Avengers is number one. So number 1 and 2 for me is completely subjective based on my day. So sorry, I can't give you a definitive, but Civil War will always be one of my most beloved ones because I think some people don't care about it as much as they should.
Right.
I'm not going to say you don't get it because it's
like,
all there.
Yeah.
It's all there. It's just if you don't. If
Sometimes
it's a little too
people
boring
will
or
look
whatever, I
at
can get
it as like. It's
You
hard
can
to
tell me
explain.
it's boring or you
Like,
didn't like it,
right.
but you can't tell me it's missing anything. It's all there.
I think a
It's
lot of
just-
people just wanted more of the fight scene that
I
they
think
did
people
at the
wanted more
airport.
grandiose fun. I
Yeah.
don't think they were walking in. A lot of people. I would argue. I think a lot of people who don't like Civil War probably didn't like Winter Soldier.
Right.
I don't know that for a fact.
It's
but I
funny
would
though
imagine
too
so.
because the people that probably don't like Civil War are also probably people that are like, well, if they would have done it like the comics, y'all wouldn't have liked that. Trust me.
You wouldn't have liked that. Getting Spider-Man shot in the fucking face halfway through. Like, no, I'm good.
Fucking Spider-Man takes his mask off for the first time, like to reveal himself to the world,
I don't even like it now that they did it in Far From Home, but it's lame.
which. I mean,
But
the whole
that's my
Spider-Man
list.
thing, the whole Spider-Man thing in Civil War kind of annoys me a little bit because it's like Tony's supposed to becoming, a little bit more responsible superhero, and yet he brings in a kid for no reason.
Nope, bullshit. He even says the only reason why he brings him in, he needs somebody with a power level that can match some of those people. And the only reason why he's there is to contain. He even said, web them up.
Right.
It's what we talked about. He wants to incapacitate.
He doesn't
That
want to
even
hurt
shows-
them.
That even shows that Iron Man is not there to kill or hurt anyone.
Which
he
that
wants
movie
to just grab them.
totally shows that Spider-Man is like the baddest motherfucker there because he takes
He's
down
OP.
the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
But that's the point. He's OP. But the only reason why he gets bested is because he's a naive kid who hasn't done with it. He even gets starstruck by Captain America.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's the point. Like, they show all of that stuff. It's all there. It's all there. It's just people don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Go watch it again, dude. I'm telling you. It's all fucking there.
I watched it recently.
Watch
That's,
it
that's why it's in my
520
number
times.
6. It's in my top 6.
Yeah, no, I
So-
actually like it. It's better than some people who put it way lower, so.
Yeah, so this was our top 23, our 23
Our
MCU
23
movies in order of what we thought.
And this was pretty much just to
I feel
You know,
both
say
lists. Both
say
lists.
hi to Endgame.
Yeah.
Say to hi Endgame's there, and honestly, I'd like to think that because we brought up a lot of stuff that was important to each individual movie, I think people, I would hopefully like to think that people understand you don't really get the payoffs that you think you got
Right.
in Endgame. Endgame is not as good as people think, and I don't want to take away the fun. I'm sorry. But I don't want people saying that this was a good ending. That's horseshit.
Yeah.
This movie
Especially-
was garbage.
Another one too that I keep thinking about is Thor. No matter what, Thor gets fucked in everything. He's lost everything, and then he literally in Endgame they literally show him giving away his throne, basically,
Yep.
of ruling as of having
Which was
Asgard.
pretty much his entire arc for
Right.
every movie.
Right, but now it's like okay, and now they're doing the next Thor movie, and it's just like ugh.
I gotta take it back. Love you. Have a good day, babe. Okay. Sorry, I cut us off for like 2 minutes.
It's all good.
She's
No,
leaving for work.
So I just feel they're gonna just take more away from Thor. I think it's because he's like the powerful guy in the franchise, so they want to fuck with him more. I'm not sure.
I think this is me being hopeful because they brought James Gunn back
Right.
and threw Thor in there. It
If-
gives them a
if
little
he's
extra
in
to
there.
play with,
If
which
he's
is
in
going to be
there.
a problem. But James Gunn seems to actually give a shit about his characters.
Right.
So I'd like to think he'll bring Thor some justice somehow.
If he does anything with him, though.
I'd like to think he will, just because he's there. I'd like to hear some inklings of Beta Ray Bill. That'd be cool. But for the most part, I don't have a lot of faith going forward with the MCU. Again, I think Endgame killed it for me.
I feel Blade when Blade comes out, you should be able to watch that without needing
I'll
anything
watch that
else.
hopefully for funsies.
Yeah. I don't really see how they would tie Blade in well with everything else they got going on. It has to be like its own.
Everything I'll
Unless they're gonna
probably-
toss him into like some Dark Avengers type bullshit.
Everything I'll probably watch DVD just for fun. But yeah, I have zero investment left in this franchise. It screwed the Disney's fucking all their stuff up right now, and they need Bob Iger to go away. They need to fire Kathleen Kennedy, and they need to revamp and learn to write.
Yeah.
But that's it for me, man.
Right.
I feel good. Go watch Endgame just to prove that I'm not full of shit, and hopefully go back and watch some of these movies if you guys haven't seen them for a while. I would love to hear your take on Captain America after you rewatch it. I would love to hear your take.
The first Avenger?
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
actually watch that today.
Yeah, I might watch it in a little bit here. Well, no, I gotta
You gotta go pick up.
yeah.
But yeah, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear if I changed your mind at all, because it is it's kind of one of my darling movies that gets shit on a little too much for me. But
Yeah.
But yeah, good list. I can't believe how close we really were, man. I actually expected us to be a lot further off. But if anything, that proves that Thrillist is completely full of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that website and fuck their list. And fuck who wrote it, by the way. There we go.
Which they don't say. It just says Thrillist because
course
they don't
not.
want
Why
their
would they?
authors on there.
Well, with the word Thrillist, I couldn't imagine why they put Black Panther first.
All right, so I think I'm done for 23 Marvel's 23 guys.
Whew! That was a trek.
Tell
I liked it, though.
tell us your lists if you want.
Yeah, get in the comments, baby.
Get in the comments here, whatever platform you're on, or in the Facebook group, Operation Babel group. It's literally
Anywhere,
called
everywhere.
Operation Babel group.
I would love to talk why. Any reason anybody can change my mind on movies, I'm welcome to it. I would love to know things that I missed. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for dealing with the debate. I guess it wasn't even that much of a debate, to be honest. But all right, thanks, Mike. It was good shit.
Thank you.
Can't wait for the next MCU movie. I'm gonna go watch the good ones, and if you want to join me later, let me know. Later, nerds.
Get lost, Squidward. Thanks for tuning in to another great episode of Operation Babel. You can catch this episode and more at soundcloud.com/Operation Babel or iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play at Operation Babel or YouTube at Mike Shrews, MYKESHREWS. Have a great day, guys. Peace.
Are you kidding me? If anything, when Claw got killed, that was like the knife in the heart to finish the movie. It was like, oh, this is shit. It's like, when you
5 minutes of slasher.
You did it to me again, you fucker! Oh my god, that scared me. Oh, I fucking hate you. 2 casts in a row. Why would you do that to me? You fucking dipshit. Oh, right after I said knife in the heart, too. Like, what? Like, fuck you, dude. That scared me so bad. Oh my god, I'm sweating. That scared me so fucking bad.
All right.
You fucking dickhead. Oh my god. Oh shit.